Let us drift gently into a world long forgotten, where whispers of sacred women echo through the sands of time. Each story holds a soft light, guiding the spirit into quiet reflection and serene dreams. In the stillness, we meet priestesses, goddesses, and wise women of ancient cults, whose presence once touched the hearts of countless souls. Their stories are not loud. They are tender, delicate, and soothing, like moonlight dancing on a calm river. Tonight, we will journey together through these divine lives. Soft winds carry us across deserts, temples, and starlit waters, where every tale unfolds like a slow, graceful breath, helping your mind and heart ease into rest. If you feel calm with these stories, let us know where you are listening from in the comments. Or subscribe to keep your nights gentle and full of quiet wonder. The night is quiet. A soft wind stirs across the desert, carrying the faint scent of sage and warm earth. The sky is deep and endless, and the silver moon hangs low, like a calm guardian watching over the world. You drift gently into this stillness, the sand beneath your imagined feet soft and cool. Stars blink slowly above, each one like a quiet memory, waiting to touch your heart with their gentle light. Through the desert, a figure moves with grace. She is the moonlit priestess. Her robes ripple softly with each step, catching the moonlight as if the stars themselves are sewn into the fabric. She walks barefoot, feeling the warm curve of the dunes beneath her feet, and her presence is serene, almost invisible. Except for the quiet glow she carries, her hands fold together, fingers brushing in a prayer that has lasted for countless nights. Each word she whispers drifts lightly into the air, curling around the dunes and slipping into the spaces between stars. You listen to these words, not with your ears, but with the quiet parts of your spirit. They are soft, flowing, like rivers of light moving through a peaceful mind. The priestess stops for a moment atop a gentle rise. Below her, the desert stretches endlessly, shimmering with moonlight in the shadow of distant dunes. She lifts her gaze, and the silver moon seems to lean closer, as if listening. Her prayer is not loud. It does not call or demand. It simply is. It folds into the world quietly, filling empty spaces with a soft warmth, like the lingering embrace of a gentle hand on your shoulder. She begins to walk again. Each step is slow, measured, almost like a rhythm of breathing. The sand forms small patterns beneath her feet, delicate shapes that the wind will carry away, leaving the earth pure and open once more. You can feel the patience in her movements, a calm that asks nothing and gives everything. There is no hurry here. Time is like a soft river, moving gently, shaping the dunes but never forcing them. In the distance, a small temple appears, rising from the sand like a dream. Its stones are smooth, worn by countless years and touched by the light of the moon. Candles burn faintly within, flickering as if breathing alongside the priestess. She enters quietly, her robe brushing the smooth floor, and her presence seems to deepen the calm already settled in the room. The air is filled with warmth and the quiet hum of long-forgotten prayers, drifting like soft music through the space. The moonlit priestess approaches an altar carved from white stone. Upon it lie offerings of delicate flowers and small vessels of water. She bends slightly, letting her fingertips trace the cool surface. Her prayer here is different, deeper, slower, a river folding into itself. Each word she breathes seems to carry away the dust of the world, leaving only a soft clarity behind. You feel the weight of the day, the restless thoughts, and they begin to settle, like leaves sinking to the bottom of a still pond. Outside, the wind stirs once more, carrying tiny grains of sand in a soft dance. It brushes against the temple walls and slips through the open door, whispering secrets of the night. The priestess does not speak to it, but she listens. In her stillness, you can feel her understanding of time, of life, and of the quiet power that comes not from force, but from presence. Her eyes close slowly. You notice how gentle this is, a slow inhale, a soft exhale. Each breath seems to stretch the air around her, widening it, letting it flow like honey over every edge. In her silence, she hears the desert, the moon, the stars, and even the tiniest heartbeat of the sand beneath her feet. There is no rush here. Nothing needs changing. The world is exactly as it should be. The moonlit priestess lifts a small vessel of water and lets it spill across the altar. The liquid moves like liquid light, catching the candle flames and scattering them into tiny points of reflection. She whispers again, softly, each syllable a ripple in the quiet night. Her prayer is for balance, for calm, for the gentle return of peace to every wandering spirit. You imagine it reaching you, brushing against your mind and heart, carrying away the tension you do not need to hold tonight. A distant drum begins, soft and slow, like a heartbeat echoing from the earth itself. It does not startle, for it is not abrupt or loud. It merely exists, guiding the rhythm of the night, of the desert, of the priestess. Her feet move slightly with it, not dancing, but swaying in a motion that is natural, unforced, and unhurried. You float alongside her, carried by the cadence of time, the ebb and flow of shadow and light. She pauses near a small pool, where water has collected under the stars. The surface is like glass, reflecting moonlight and distant constellations. She kneels, placing her hands on the water, letting her fingers trace its quiet ripples. Each ripple seems to carry a soft story, of a past long ago, of prayers spoken and forgotten, of a gentle presence that never leaves. You feel yourself fold into the same peace, as though the water itself is a mirror for your own stillness. The moonlit priestess leans forward, letting her forehead touch the stone beside the pool. Her breath is even calm, like a lullaby. Her prayers now are not for the desert or for the temple, but for every spirit that listens, for every heart that seeks the quiet. Each word drifts through the night, touching the edges of dreams, softening thoughts, and encouraging the mind to release its grip on worries. Above, the stars swirl slowly, as if turning to watch her. Each flicker seems to nod in acknowledgement, a cosmic whisper of encouragement. You feel the space between your own breaths widen, the quiet stretching around you like soft fabric. The priestess does not hurry. She does not need to. The world unfolds around her in gentle motion, and you are part of it, floating in the same calm. After a time, she rises and walks again through the temple. The candles flicker with her movement, shadows dancing softly on the walls. She passes through arches and corridors, each step a measured echo that deepens the sense of stillness. Outside, the wind stirs once more, brushing against her robes, carrying sand, and carrying the gentle weight of all the prayers she has offered. You feel your own thoughts drift similarly, each one slowing, softening, finding rest. The moonlit priestess steps out into the open desert again. The moon hangs low, heavy with quiet silver light. She walks to the crest of a dune, lifting her arms slightly as though embracing the entire sky. Her presence here is calm, unassuming, yet it carries a strength that is quiet but unwavering. The desert itself seems to respond, stretching into endless shapes of shadow and light, moving gently beneath the watchful sky. She kneels one last time, her forehead to the sand, and whispers a final prayer into the night. The wind carries it across the dunes, into the horizon, over the distant mountains, and into the heart of anyone who seeks rest. You feel the words brush your soul, wrapping around it like a soft, warm blanket. There is nothing more to do, no urgency, only the quiet, patient unfolding of peace. Slowly she rises and turns toward the horizon. Her figure is small but luminous beneath the moon, moving forward with gentle certainty. She does not look back, for there is no need. The night will continue to hold her, and the moon will continue to shine, and every whisper of her prayer will linger, soft and eternal. You remain there for a moment, feeling the calmness settle deep within. The desert, the temple, the pool, the wind, and the stars all continue in their quiet rhythm. The moonlit priestess has reminded you of something simple, yet profound, that presence itself is a prayer, that stillness is a gift, and that the gentle movement of spirit can carry a heart to sleep. Now, let your breath fall slowly, like the soft sand slipping through fingers. Let your mind drift like the stars reflected in the quiet water. Let every worry, every thought fade into the vast night. The moonlit priestess walks on, but her calm surrounds you, wrapping you in a silver light that whispers, "It is time to rest." Let us drift onward, and as the moon sails across the desert sky, let your spirit move softly with it. The night carries you, the stars cradle you, and the gentle prayer of a priestess lingers still, guiding you into quiet, dream-filled sleep. The night drifts slowly over the land, folding itself into the curves of hills and valleys. A soft wind moves like silk across the fields, carrying the faint scent of jasmine and warm stone. You float quietly into this stillness, where the air feels gentle and thick with memory. Shadows stretch across the earth, long and quiet, touching the edges of the imagination like soft brushes of light. Ahead, a temple rises from the darkness. Its stones are smooth, worn by countless years, yet they gleam faintly under the silver glow of the moon. The walls are tall and graceful, arcs stretching upward, welcoming both shadow and light. Soft winds sweep through the arches, carrying the whisper of ancient voices, voices that once spoke without words and sang without sound. You drift closer, feeling the coolness of the stone and the calm it brings. The doors of the temple open into a twilight world. Here, shadows move as if alive, stretching and folding in rhythms of their own. Soft candles glow along the walls, flickering gently, and their light dances across the floor in patterns that seem almost like breathing. Each shadow is a story, each flicker a song carried from long ago, and you feel them brush against your mind with delicate care. Within, divine women once walked. They moved with grace beneath the candlelight, their steps echoing softly in the quiet air. You imagine them dancing at twilight, long robes whispering against the stone floor, arms lifted gently as if to touch the very sky. Their presence was serene, a perfect balance between mystery and light, and you feel their calm settle around you, soft as a warm blanket. The air smells faintly of incense, drifting lazily toward the high arches. Its aroma is gentle and steady, curling around your senses like a river of quiet warmth. The divine women used it in rituals, simple movements of offering and attention, honoring the unseen. You watch quietly as their hands trace small patterns in the air, their fingers brushing invisible threads of meaning, weaving the space with care and intention. Shadows move along the walls, curling into soft shapes as though the temple itself remembers the dances of the past. You notice the stillness between the movements, a rhythm of patience and presence. It is here, in the quiet pauses, that the greatest power lies, a gentle reminder that silence is not empty, but full of whispering life. The soft wind seems to answer the shadows, moving through the temple arches like a caress. A woman kneels near a small altar, her hair falling like dark water over her shoulders. She lifts a vessel of water and lets it spill gently onto the stone. The liquid moves slowly, reflecting candlelight and scattering it into quiet patterns across the floor. Her prayer is soft, like a river flowing over smooth stones, and you feel it brushing against your own spirit, carrying away tension, leaving only calm and clarity. The temple is not loud. There are no demands, no sudden gestures. Every movement is measured, every sound a soft echo. You feel yourself settling into this rhythm, your own breathing slowing to match the quiet pulse of the sacred space. The shadows curve gently, reaching toward the candles and then receding, and each one seems to tell a story older than the stones themselves. In a quiet corner, a small pool of water glimmers beneath a faint moonbeam that slips through a high window. The water is still, reflecting stars and the soft shapes of the temple above. A woman bends toward it, letting her fingers touch the surface. Ripples spread slowly, touching the edges of the pool like gentle thoughts stretching across a calm mind. She whispers something too soft to hear, yet you feel it, flowing through your senses and settling like soft sand in a quiet hour. Soft drums begin, distant and slow, as if the earth itself is breathing. Their rhythm is subtle, almost imperceptible, but it carries a heartbeat, a steady reminder of the life moving beneath all stillness. The women move with it, not dancing with energy, but swaying gently, their bodies following the soft pull of the night. You drift alongside them, carried by the quiet rhythm, each beat a lullaby that folds around your thoughts. Candles flicker along the altar again, their light merging with the shadows. The interplay of brightness and dark is delicate, like the passing of dreams from one to the next. You notice how each movement, each gesture seems to honor the balance between mystery and clarity, between what is seen and what is felt. The temple holds both, and in its arms, you feel the same gentle balance settle inside yourself. A small doorway opens to a hidden chamber. Here, the walls are lined with carved figures of women, each holding a symbol of devotion, patience, or care. Their faces are serene, and though silent, their gaze feels alive, watching over the temple with a calm vigilance. You trace the shapes with your eyes, letting each one sink softly into your mind, leaving a faint, comforting imprint. The priestesses move again, soft steps echoing against the stones. One lifts a bowl of fragrant oils, pouring a thin stream onto a heated surface. The scent rises, curling around the arches and touching every corner of the temple. It is quiet, comforting, and steady. You inhale gently, letting the aroma drift through your imagination, carrying away the remnants of waking thoughts and inviting calm to rest deeply. Soft wind brushes through the temple doors, carrying sand and distant whispers. You feel it swirl around you, moving slowly, tracing the outlines of your mind and smoothing the edges of thought. The shadows bend with it, shifting slightly, and the candlelight flickers in gentle response. Every corner of the space seems alive with memory, with quiet devotion, and with the gentle pulse of life moving in soft motion. In the center of the temple, a figure sits cross-legged on the stone floor, hands resting lightly on her knees. Her eyes are closed, yet she seems to see everything. She listens to the wind, to the candles, to the distant rhythm of earth and stone. Her presence is patient, quiet, and unassuming, yet it carries a gentle strength. You feel it reach across the temple, touching every shadow, every candle, and every soft breath of air. The soft chanting begins almost imperceptible, a stream of sound that curls through the arches and over the stone floor. The women do not raise their voices. They do not hurry. The chant is a river, flowing slowly, filling every empty space with gentle warmth. You float in it, feeling your body soften, your mind quiet, and your heart sink into the peaceful rhythm of the night. Candles are relit in the hidden chambers, flickering softly and casting gentle shadows across the carved walls. Each flame seems to hold a memory, a whisper of a long-forgotten story, and you feel the weight of time dissolve in their light. The temple is alive yet still. It is a place where mystery and devotion meet, where shadows speak softly, and where every movement is a prayer in itself. The women rise slowly, lifting their arms toward the sky as if touching the stars. The candles sway in gentle response, and the wind seems to answer with a soft sigh. You notice how every gesture is deliberate but unhurried, each step a meditation, each breath a gift. The temple itself seems to breathe alongside them, expanding and contracting with quiet serenity. A final prayer is whispered, soft and slow, like a river sliding over smooth stones. It drifts into the shadows, wrapping around the candles, the walls, and the arches. You feel it brush against your own heart, leaving a gentle warmth that stretches into your mind and body. Every worry, every thought that clings to wakefulness begins to soften, dissolve, and float away. The moonlight now drifts across the temple floor, mingling with candlelight and shadow. It moves slowly, touching every surface, every carved figure, every ripple in the hidden pool. The women step back into the quiet, their movements slow, calm, and peaceful. You feel the rhythm of the night, the balance of light and dark, and the gentle pulse of devotion settle within your own spirit. Now, as the temple grows still, let your breath become the wind that drifts softly through its arches. Let your mind rest in the folds of shadow and candlelight. The women have finished their dance, their prayers have been offered, and the night carries them forward. You are held here, in this quiet, gentle space where shadows speak without sound and light touches the soul with softness. Let us drift onward, and as the soft winds carry the whispers of the temple through the night, let your thoughts fall like petals onto still water. Now rest as the stars return to their silent watch, and the temple of whispering shadows holds both you and your dreams in calm, eternal embrace. The night is calm, and the air carries a soft hush, like the world itself is leaning closer to listen. You drift slowly through the darkness, feeling the gentle rhythm of the earth beneath you. The stars above flicker quietly, small and patient, like distant lanterns in a vast sky. A soft wind brushes past, carrying the faint scent of warm earth and desert flowers. It curls gently around your senses, inviting peace and settling the mind. Far away, in a hidden valley, there is a temple unlike any other. Its walls are carved from stone, etched with symbols that shimmer faintly in the moonlight. The carvings tell stories of life, protection, and quiet strength. You float closer, drawn by a feeling that is soft but steady, like the pulse of a heart that has known many nights. This is the home of the Serpent Guardian. She moves through the temple with the stillness of one who knows the weight of knowledge. Her robes are light, flowing, and they catch the silver of the moon as she glides past stone pillars. She does not hurry. She does not speak loudly. Her presence alone is a comfort, a soft shield over everything she watches. The serpents, carved and living alike, curl gently around her, their scales glimmering like liquid light. They follow her not with fear, but with trust. The guardian kneels beside an altar where scrolls and vessels rest. These hold wisdom from generations long past, secrets of the earth, of the stars, of the quiet spaces between each heartbeat. She lifts her hands slowly, brushing dust from the ancient texts, her fingers tracing patterns that have been forgotten by time. Each touch is soft and deliberate, a gesture of care. You feel her patience in your chest, her quiet courage settling over your spirit. Outside, the wind whispers through the temple's open doors. It carries sand and faint echoes of distant mountains. The serpents coil around the columns, their eyes reflecting candlelight. They are calm, serene, and protective. Their bodies move in subtle patterns, like waves on a still sea, and you sense that they are part of a living rhythm that extends through every corner of the temple. The serpent guardian rises slowly, her gaze lifting toward the moon. It casts a silver path across the floor, lighting her steps as she moves. She walks to a small pool, water still and quiet beneath the soft glow. She kneels, her reflection mirrored perfectly in the glassy surface. For a moment, the world seems to pause. The wind slows. The stars seem to lean closer. Every ripple she creates in the water moves softly outward, carrying a gentle energy that touches every hidden corner. She whispers a prayer, low and melodic. It does not call or demand. It folds into the night, brushing softly against stone and water, against the delicate curves of serpent scales, against the quiet space in your own heart. You feel it as a gentle tide ebbing and flowing, leaving behind the calm and warmth of protection. The serpents stir, their movements slow and measured. They are guardians of knowledge, keepers of memory, and in their quiet coils lies a soft strength. They do not strike. They do not threaten. Their purpose is gentle yet unwavering. You feel the same energy brushing against your mind, the assurance that wisdom can be protective without force, and that courage can be quiet yet unwavering. The guardian moves through the temple, each step like a slow, deep breath. She reaches a small chamber where light falls through a carved window. The rays of moonlight make patterns on the floor, swirling like gentle water. Here she pauses, her hands resting lightly on the stone. She does not speak, but her presence communicates care, the careful attention of someone who watches over life with softness and dedication. You notice the rhythm of her breathing, even, soft, unhurried. It matches the slow pulse of the night. Each exhale seems to release the tension of the world, each inhale drawing in calm and clarity. Around her the serpents coil and uncurl with the same rhythm, their scales catching moonlight like small sparks of quiet fire. Their gentle hiss is soft and steady, like a lullaby sung long ago, carrying the story of protection and careful guardianship. A small scroll lies open on the altar. The guardian reaches for it, her fingers tracing the symbols written long ago. Each stroke is deliberate and full of reverence. The wisdom within is not loud or demanding. It whispers instead, gentle as wind through reeds, soft as the touch of warm stone. She reads slowly, absorbing meaning not only with her mind, but with the quiet strength of her heart. Outside, the desert wind rises briefly, sweeping across dunes and carrying tiny grains of sand. It touches the temple doors and passes through them with a soft sigh. The guardian does not look up, yet she feels the motion, acknowledging the night with her own stillness. Her courage is quiet. It does not need to prove itself. It simply is. It shelters, nurtures, and watches, like a mother watching over sleep. The serpents follow her steps as she moves toward a hidden staircase. It winds downward, carved from the same stone as the temple above. The air is cool and carries a gentle scent of earth and distant water. She descends slowly, and you drift with her, feeling the pulse of her presence, the steady flow of her careful guardianship. The light from above spills faintly down, mingling with the shadows and making everything feel safe, intimate, and soft. At the base of the stairs lies a small chamber filled with objects of knowledge, vessels, scrolls, stones, and delicate carvings. She moves between them with reverence, her hands brushing the surfaces lightly. Each artifact is held with care, every motion deliberate, as if time itself slows to honor the quiet strength of her touch. You feel your own mind relax in this rhythm, the simple act of reverence teaching the peace of gentle attention. A faint ripple of water sounds from a small basin. She kneels and touches it, and tiny waves move outward, soft and circular. Each ripple seems to echo a thought of protection. of wisdom held without harshness, of knowledge shared softly with those who can receive it gently. The serpents coil near her feet, eyes half closed, serene. They are both watchers and witnesses, embodiments of quiet guardianship, just as she is. The guardian rises once more, moving toward a small window that opens to the night sky. The moon hangs low and the stars are still and patient. She stretches her arms slightly, palms open, as though receiving light, energy, and calm from the heavens above. The serpents follow her gaze, quiet and still, reflecting the same calm, mirrored in their liquid eyes. You feel the energy touch your own spirit, a soft, steady reassurance that all is held safely. She whispers another prayer, soft and low. It drifts into the night, curling around stone pillars, tracing along the water in the pool, and winding through the hidden corners of the temple. Each word is a gentle wave carrying the essence of quiet courage, of protective love, and of wisdom held without urgency. You feel the words brush softly against your thoughts, and the tension of the day begins to dissolve. The wind rises gently once more, carrying a faint rustle of distant leaves. The serpents coil more loosely now, their bodies relaxed. The guardian steps slowly toward the exit, moving with the steady grace of someone who carries great care in every motion. She pauses at the door, taking a final look at the chamber, and you sense the quiet satisfaction of her watchfulness, the calm assurance of guardianship held without claim or need for recognition. Outside, the desert is soft under the silver light of the moon. The wind carries small whispers, brushing across your mind like a gentle lullaby. The serpents remain near the temple, their presence soft, protective, and patient. The guardian lifts her gaze one last time toward the stars, their small lights like echoes of wisdom, guiding the night with their steady glow. You drift slowly, feeling the gentle strength of the serpent guardian wrap around your heart. Her courage is quiet, her watchfulness is soft, and her wisdom is a calm presence that flows through every corner of the mind. You allow yourself to fold into this gentle rhythm, every breath a soft wave of peace, every heartbeat a quiet reflection of her care. Now let your mind rest. Let the night, the serpents, and the soft moonlight hold you in their gentle embrace. Let the quiet courage of the guardian teach your spirit that wisdom can be tender, that protection can be soft, and that every thought, every worry can find stillness in the calm night. Let us drift onward, and as the stars shine quietly above, let the serpent guardian's soft presence guide you deeper into rest, where dreams flow like gentle water, and every shadow speaks only of peace. The night is deep and quiet, folding itself softly over the land. The desert beyond the city stretches wide, smooth and gentle under a silver sky. A soft wind drifts lazily across the dunes, carrying the scent of distant gardens and warm stone. You float gently in this stillness, your breath matching the slow rhythm of the world, letting the quiet settle around you like a soft blanket. Above, the stars stretch endlessly, scattered across the heavens like scattered jewels. Their light glimmers softly, patient and serene. Each one feels like a memory, a gentle story waiting to be remembered. They shine over ancient Babylon, illuminating the wide streets, the soaring walls, and the quiet temples hidden in the heart of the city. You drift closer, carried by the soft pull of moonlight and shadow. In the heart of Babylon stands a temple, built of smooth golden stone that gleams faintly under the night sky. Its arches curve toward the heavens, open to the stars above. Candles flicker softly within, casting delicate shadows on walls etched with ancient symbols. You move closer, feeling the cool stone beneath your imagined fingertips and the gentle warmth of light spilling over the ground. Inside, priestesses walk quietly among the pillars. Their steps are measured, graceful, as if they are part of the rhythm of the night itself. They lift their hands toward the sky, tracing patterns that echo the constellations above. Each movement is slow, deliberate, and full of calm. You feel the serenity in their presence, a soft energy that settles in your chest and lets your thoughts drift gently away. They gather near a raised platform where small bowls of water and vessels of herbs rest. Each item is placed with care, chosen for its quiet significance. The priestesses whisper soft prayers, not loud or urgent, but steady and tender. Their voices carry through the air like ripples on still water, brushing against the walls, the floor, and your own spirit. You feel your mind soften, each thought releasing like sand slipping gently through fingers. One priestess lifts her gaze to the stars above. Her eyes are calm, patient, and full of quiet wonder. She traces the constellations with her finger, connecting dots of silver light as if weaving a gentle tapestry across the sky. Her gesture does not demand attention. It simply is. And yet, it seems to touch something deep within you. The part of your mind that remembers calm, that remembers stillness, that knows the quiet power of presence. The air in the temple smells faintly of incense and warm earth. Soft candles glow along the walls, flickering in response to the gentle breath of the night. Shadows stretch and fold across the floor, moving with the priestesses as they walk and kneel. You notice the delicate rhythm in their movements, each step, each gesture, echoing the slow dance of the stars above. The world feels balanced, quiet, and full of gentle possibility. Outside, a soft breeze drifts through the open arches. It carries whispers of distant gardens and the faint hum of the city sleeping beyond the walls. The priestesses pause for a moment, lifting their hands to catch the wind. Their fingers brush against invisible threads of meaning, as if touching the very air that connects earth and sky. You drift closer in your mind, sensing their calm, their devotion, and the careful, quiet attention they give to every small detail of the world. A small pool of water rests in the center of the temple courtyard. Its surface reflects the stars above, perfectly still and serene. One priestess kneels beside it, her reflection mirrored softly in the glassy surface. She dips her fingers into the water, creating gentle ripples that carry the light of the stars outward. Each wave spreads slowly, touching the edges of the pool, brushing against stone, candlelight, and shadow. You feel the same calm ripple through your own thoughts, letting worries drift away like leaves on a slow river. The priestesses begin to chant softly, their voices blending with the gentle whisper of the wind. The sound is steady, melodic, and unhurried, like a lullaby that has been carried through countless nights. It rises and falls gently, filling the air with a sense of balance and harmony. You feel the rhythm of their chant in your chest, your breathing matching the rise and fall of the sound. Peace settles over you, slow and warm like the last light of evening lingering over the horizon. They lift small vessels of oil, pouring the golden liquid onto heated stones. The scent rises, curling lazily around the arches, touching every corner of the temple. The air feels soft, comforting, and sacred. The priestesses move with care, their gestures deliberate but unhurried, like the moonlight itself brushing over the curves of the city below. Every action is a prayer, every motion a gentle gift of attention and devotion. Outside, the stars shimmer brighter over Babylon, their light touching the city with quiet grace. The priestesses follow the patterns in the sky, reading the heavens with patient eyes. They see the movement of planets, the subtle changes in light, and the gentle unfolding of night. Their gaze connects the earthly to the divine, showing how the world below and the stars above are part of the same quiet rhythm. You drift with them, carried by the calm of their observation, your mind softening like sand beneath a slow tide. A distant drum begins, soft and low, echoing faintly across the temple. It does not startle, for it is gentle and steady, like the heartbeat of the city itself. The priestesses sway with it, not dancing, but moving with the slow pulse of the night. Shadows stretch and curl around them, as if listening to the rhythm of their calm presence. You feel your own heartbeat slow, matching the gentle cadence, and your thoughts soften further into the quiet night. The priestesses pause near the walls, tracing symbols carved into the stone. Each symbol carries meaning, soft and subtle, full of memory and care. They run their fingers lightly over the carvings, whispering blessings into the air. The walls themselves seem to absorb the calm, holding it in the quiet folds of stone. You feel it settle in your own mind, a soft reassurance that all is as it should be, that the night holds both mystery and gentle order. One priestess lifts a small scroll, her fingers tracing the letters with reverence. She reads softly, her voice merging with the wind and the quiet chant of her sisters. The words carry the wisdom of countless generations, not as commands, but as gentle guidance. You imagine the stars above and the earth below listening alongside her, each one holding the knowledge tenderly, protecting it with soft vigilance. The pool ripples again as a slight breeze passes, stirring the reflection of the stars. The priestess dips her hand lightly into the water, watching the ripples fold outward. Each wave is a soft lesson, a reminder that knowledge can move gently, protecting without harshness, teaching without force. You drift along with the motion, feeling your body relax, your mind softening further into the quiet rhythm of the temple. The candles flicker in unison, their light mingling with the moonbeams that fall through the high windows. Shadows bend gently, curling around the pillars and across the floor, moving with the calm presence of the priestesses. You notice the delicate balance in the room, the light and shadow, the stillness and movement, the earth below and the stars above. Each element exists in quiet harmony, and you feel your own spirit align with the gentle rhythm of the night. The priestesses raise their hands once more, tracing slow patterns in the air as if drawing the paths of the stars into the temple itself. Each movement is soft and deliberate, a silent prayer that folds the celestial into the earthly. The serpentine patterns of their gestures echo the constellations above, reminding you that the world is connected, that every small act of care and attention is part of a larger, gentle design. The night stretches on, patient and still. The priestesses lower their hands, bowing gently toward the stars and the earth. Their voices soften, the chant slowing into a single steady hum that seems to settle over the city like a protective veil. You feel your own breathing match the rhythm, slow and even, every heartbeat a quiet echo of the calm that surrounds you. The temple doors open to the desert beyond, and a gentle wind carries the faint scent of jasmine and earth across the courtyard. The priestesses step lightly into the night, their robes catching the moonlight. They pause to gaze at the stars one last time, their eyes reflecting the silver glow and the quiet pulse of heaven. You drift with them, carried by the calm, patient energy that flows from their presence into the night air. Now, let your mind rest in the gentle light of Babylon's stars. Let the wind carry away every tension, every thought that clings to wakefulness. The priestesses have offered their wisdom softly. Their gaze has connected earth to sky, and the night carries both mystery and calm in equal measure. You are held in this quiet, gentle space, where shadows and light meet, and where every breath flows like a soft river. Let us drift onward. And as the stars shine patiently over ancient Babylon, let your spirit float in their silver glow. Now rest as the city sleeps, and the gentle presence of the priestesses guides you into dream-filled, serene slumber. The night hums softly over the land, quiet and slow, like a gentle breath. You drift through the darkness, carried on a soft wind that smells of wet earth and blooming water lilies. Above, the stars are scattered like tiny lanterns, steady and calm, guiding the way. The moon casts silver light across the river's surface, turning its gentle ripples into a pathway of quiet shimmer. Along the riverbank, soft reeds sway with the rhythm of the water. Their tips brush the surface, creating tiny ripples that spread outward and disappear like whispered secrets. The air is cool, yet comforting, and you float along with the current, letting the gentle motion carry your thoughts away from the day. Here, in this still moment, time feels like a slow, flowing current, moving without effort, without hurry. In the heart of the river, a small temple rises, built of pale stone and mossed with age. It seems to grow from the river itself, resting gently on the water's edge. Soft candlelight flickers through open windows, casting reflections on the moving surface. You drift closer, sensing the calm that radiates from this sacred place, the hush of devotion that fills every corner of its walls. A woman appears by the river, her presence as serene as the flowing water. She wears robes of soft blue silk that trail lightly in the gentle current. Her hair glimmers faintly in the moonlight, dark and still like quiet water at midnight. She moves with a grace that does not rush, a rhythm that flows like the river itself, calm and patient. You watch her, feeling a warmth that eases every tension in your chest. She kneels at the riverbank, dipping her hands into the cool water. The ripples spread slowly, catching moonlight and reflecting it back in soft, scattered beams. She closes her eyes and breathes with the flow of the river, her spirit moving as one with its gentle cycles. Every exhale seems to release worry. Every inhale draws in calm. You float alongside her, letting the slow rhythm of water and breath lull your thoughts into quietness. Around her, the reeds sway in soft unison, brushing against one another as if dancing to a song only the river knows. Small fish glide beneath the surface, their movements subtle and steady, carrying the quiet energy of life beneath the calm. The river mother touches the water again, letting her fingers trace invisible patterns. Each movement feels like a prayer, a blessing for all life that flows along the river, for all spirits that rest and awaken by its shores. She rises slowly, her gaze following the current as it winds through the land. The river seems endless, stretching through forests and fields, carrying soft light and quiet reflection. The mother's eyes follow it with a gentle reverence, as though she reads not only the flow of water but the flow of life itself. She knows its rhythms, its patience, its unspoken lessons. You feel her knowledge brushing against your spirit, teaching calm in its softest form. A soft song rises from her lips, quiet and melodic. It moves over the water like a gentle wind, touching reeds, stones, and the hidden corners of the riverbed. Her voice is not loud, but it fills the space with a tender warmth. Each note is a droplet, each breath a wave. The song seems to carry the very essence of nurturing, teaching that strength can be quiet, that care can flow like water, and that patience is its own sacred power. The river mother bends again, letting her palms float above the water's surface. Tiny ripples rise to meet her touch, spreading outward and touching everything around them. You notice how even the smallest movements create gentle effects, soft changes that travel far beyond their origin. It is a lesson in quiet attention, in the power of small, deliberate acts that nourish life without fanfare. You feel the same gentle energy settling in your chest, a calm you can carry with you. Along the banks, soft lilies float on the surface, their petals opening to the moonlight. The mother touches each flower lightly, and the petals seem to respond, tilting gently toward her presence. Their quiet awakening mirrors the flow of her spirit, a gentle reminder that even the smallest life can reflect calm and beauty when touched with care. You drift among the lilies, sensing their softness and serenity, letting it mingle with the rhythm of your own breath. She moves slowly along the river, her feet brushing the shallow water, leaving gentle ripples behind. Each step is deliberate, mindful yet effortless. Her eyes are calm, reflecting the silver light above. She pauses at a small stone altar by the water, lifting a vessel filled with clear water. She pours it slowly into the river, watching it merge seamlessly with the current. It is a quiet offering, a reminder that giving can be soft, unhurried, and profoundly nourishing. The reeds sway gently with the river's rhythm, brushing against one another like whispered conversations. Frogs croak softly in the distance, their voices blending with the mother's song and the gentle rustle of leaves. All around, the world moves slowly, carrying an unseen rhythm of life that is patient, kind, and full of quiet wisdom. You feel it too, moving through your mind, easing every tension, every restless thought. The river mother pauses on a small wooden bridge that arches lightly over the water. She leans over the side, watching the reflection of the stars in the moving current. Her hands trail lightly across the surface, creating subtle waves that mirror the gentle pulse of her spirit. You notice how every gesture is soft, deliberate, and full of care. She teaches without words, showing that true strength can be tender, and that wisdom can flow like water, reaching far beyond what is seen. A small breeze rises from the north, carrying the faint scent of blossoms and earth. The mother lifts her arms, letting the wind brush over her robes, letting it mingle with the soft movement of water. The river responds, ripples extending slowly, touching stones and lilies and reeds alike. You sense the delicate connection between her, the wind, and the water, a quiet lesson in harmony and balance. It calms your mind, guiding it to settle into the gentle, unhurried rhythm of life itself. She kneels again by the riverbank, letting the water slip softly through her fingers. Her song rises once more, gentle and steady, flowing like the current, echoing the patience of the river and the quiet strength of life. You feel it wrap around your thoughts, each note a soft caress that carries away the weight of wakefulness, leaving only calm and stillness in its place. The night deepens, and the moon rises higher, casting silver paths across the river. Each ripple glows faintly, like scattered stars reflected in the moving water. The river mother watches, serene and steady, her eyes reflecting both the river's flow and the quiet wisdom she carries. She moves with the same patience as the water, teaching that every cycle, every ebb and rise is sacred, necessary, and beautiful. In the distance, soft drums begin, low and rhythmic, blending with the natural sounds of the river. They echo faintly like the heartbeat of the earth itself, steady and unhurried. The mother's movements align with the rhythm, not in haste or force, but in gentle harmony. You feel the pulse of the river, the drums, and her spirit merging softly, a calm current that settles into your mind and body. The lilies float quietly on the surface, their petals catching faint moonlight, their reflection shimmering softly. The reeds sway, their tips brushing one another in delicate whispers. The river mother kneels once more, her hands hovering just above the water, letting it touch her palms lightly, like a gentle caress. You feel her calm extend into your own heart, her patience and grace teaching quiet presence, soft vigilance and tender strength. Now, she rises slowly, moving toward a small stone platform at the river's edge. She lifts her arms toward the stars, connecting the flowing water below to the heavens above. The river mirrors the sky, reflecting constellations in gentle patterns. Her spirit seems to flow between earth and sky, between water and light, teaching that all things are connected, that every ripple, every breath, every movement is part of a vast, tender rhythm. The soft song she sings drifts across the river, brushing reeds, lilies, and stones alike. The current carries it gently downstream, like a whisper that never ends, soft and infinite. You drift with the music, your thoughts slowing, your body sinking into the comfort of night, carried on the gentle flow of water and song. Let your mind rest now beside the river, beneath the silver moon with the soft presence of the river mother watching over the quiet waters. Let the gentle cycles of the river teach patience, and let the calm rhythm of flowing water settle deeply in your spirit. Let us drift onward, and as the river carries the silver light into the night, let your heart float gently, your thoughts release softly, and your spirit rest in the serene embrace of flowing. Nurturing calm, the evening settles slowly, a soft blanket of twilight over the quiet hills. The air hums gently with the fading warmth of the sun, and the first stars appear, scattered like silver dust across a deepening sky. You float into this hush, carried on the gentle breath of dusk, letting each heartbeat slow as the shadows stretch and fold over the land. Ahead, a temple rises softly from the earth, its walls aglow with a faint, steady light. Candles line the arched windows, their flames flickering without sound. Small lanterns of calm that warm the stones around them. The path leading to the temple is lined with smooth stones, cool and comforting beneath imagined feet. You drift along it, drawn by the quiet glow, feeling the hush of anticipation that belongs to a place that speaks without words. Inside, the air is warm and still, carrying the soft scent of beeswax, incense, and quiet reverence. Shadows curve along the walls, gentle and soft, shifting like slow smoke from the flickering flames. In the center of the temple, an oracle sits upon a low stone platform. Her robes are pale, flowing, and almost luminous in the candlelight. Her presence is calm, as steady as the fire before her, yet filled with subtle movement, like the quiet pulse of energy beneath a still surface. She does not speak. There are no words, no chants, no hurried movement. Instead, the silence itself seems to breathe. You feel it wrap around your mind, easing every tense thought, softening the edges of wakefulness. Her eyes are open, serene, gazing somewhere beyond the walls, yet they seem to notice everything in the quiet space. The oracle's silence is not emptiness. It is a language of peace, a gentle current that flows slowly into your consciousness. A small fire burns in a brazier before her. Its flames dance gently, bending and folding in slow, deliberate movements. You notice how the fire seems alive yet patient, each flicker a soft conversation, each spark a tiny heartbeat. The oracle's hands hover near the flames without touching them. She moves with their rhythm, aligning her presence to the fire's pulse, as if listening to a story carried in flickering light. You float beside her, drawn into the calm cadence of this silent dialogue. The temple is quiet except for the soft whisper of air through open windows. Outside, wind brushes the tops of trees and the edges of distant hills. The oracle shifts slightly, her movement so gentle it could be mistaken for the natural pulse of the flames. She turns her gaze toward the far corner of the temple, where shadows gather and stretch across the walls. In those shadows, shapes flicker like memories, stories held in stillness. You feel the gentle pull of these forms, carrying wisdom from ages past, yet never pressing, never rushing. She lifts her hand slowly, letting her fingers trace invisible patterns in the air. Each movement is deliberate, soft and fluid, echoing the rhythm of the fire before her. You sense that every gesture carries meaning, not in words, but in attention, in presence, in quiet intention. The oracle's silence speaks to the patience that lies at the center of life, teaching that listening is as powerful as speaking, that stillness can hold more wisdom than the loudest words. A small flame leaps higher, responding to the subtle motion of her hands. Shadows stretch along the walls, curling toward the fire as if drawn by her presence. You notice the way light and dark mingle, not in conflict but in gentle harmony. Each flicker of flame becomes a wordless message, each shifting shadow a soft guide, showing that balance exists in the quiet interplay of opposites. You let your breathing match the rhythm, slow and steady, each inhale a wave of calm, each exhale a release of tension. The oracle lowers her hands and closes her eyes. In the silence you feel a gentle pulse, like a heartbeat beneath the stones of the temple. The room seems to expand, carrying space for thought and unthought alike. You drift in that expansion, letting the stillness settle like a soft snow over restless ideas. The silence is not empty. It is full of meaning, full of presence, full of care. Outside the temple, the stars shine steadily. Their light reaches through the open windows, brushing the oracle's robes and the edges of the firelight. The flames flicker in response, their reflections dancing softly across the walls. You feel the connection between earth and sky, fire and shadow, breath and heartbeat. It is quiet, yet alive, and your mind, heavy with the day, begins to release into this gentle flow. The oracle shifts her gaze slightly, following the flicker of a small candle. Its tiny flame trembles, yet it does not falter. You sense a lesson in patience, that even the smallest light carries power when held with care, that quiet perseverance can shine where noise would fade. Her presence amplifies this truth, softening your mind, allowing you to release every burden into the calm of the night. She moves again, her motion as slow as the drift of smoke from incense. Her hands hover over the fire, tracing patterns that seem to reach toward the stars above. The flame bends toward her fingers, yet does not break, responding gently to her energy. You float with her, feeling the soft rhythm of movement and stillness, understanding without words that listening, watching, and feeling quietly are as profound as any speech. A gentle hum rises from the temple floor, almost imperceptible. It is not sound, but presence, a vibration of life moving beneath stone and air. The oracle's eyes meet it, her gaze steady and patient. She leans slightly forward as though inclining toward the pulse of the temple itself. You feel it too, a subtle vibration in your chest, a calm resonance that synchronizes your breath with the steady rhythm of night. Candles along the walls flicker again, soft and low, casting golden pools of light onto smooth stone. Shadows bend and stretch in response, forming gentle curves that mirror the slow dance of the fire before the oracle. You notice how the balance of light and shadow is tender, each complementing the other, and you feel your own thoughts mirror this calm harmony, each fading gently into the background. The oracle raises her hands once more, letting them hover in stillness. She does not move swiftly or make grand gestures. Each breath and gesture is measured, soft, deliberate. You sense that she communicates through subtle presence, through alignment with the fire, the shadows, and the stars. Listening, watching, and sensing, these are her words. You feel them gently, like a whisper that touches the edges of your mind and soothes it. Time drifts slowly within the temple. Each flicker of flame, each breath of air, each subtle shift of shadow carries weightless meaning. The oracle remains serene, steady, a luminous figure of calm, teaching that wisdom often speaks in pauses, that insight often comes in quiet reflection. You let your thoughts float with her, drifting softly, like leaves carried on a gentle stream. She leans back slightly, closing her eyes fully. The fire continues to dance. The candles glow softly, and the shadows remain tender companions on the walls. You feel a profound calm settle through your body, your mind, and your spirit. Each muscle softens. Each thought drifts. Each breath flows gently like the movement of night itself. The stars outside shine with patient light, reflecting in the temple windows and the flames within. The oracle's presence seems to merge with the light, the shadows, and the air, creating a space of infinite calm. You float within this space, carried by the quiet rhythm, the slow dance of flame, and the soft pulse of stillness. Let your mind rest now beside the silent fire, Let your breath flow gently, in time with the slow heartbeat of the oracle and the steady flicker of the flames. Let the quiet presence around you settle into your own spirit, teaching patience, listening, and the gentle strength of stillness. Let us drift onward, and as the silent oracle watches over the luminous fire, let your thoughts soften, your breath deepen, and your heart float in the serene embrace of quiet. Wordless wisdom. Night drifts slowly across the land, soft and gentle, like a feather brushing the earth. The sky deepens into velvet darkness, dotted with stars that shimmer faintly, each one a tiny promise of quiet wonder. You float into this calm, carried by the soft breath of twilight, letting your mind release the cares of the day, each thought dissolving like mist over a still river. Ahead, a faint glow catches your attention. You follow it, stepping softly along a winding path that glimmers with moonlight and dew. The air is cool, fragrant with distant blossoms, and the gentle hum of nighttime life moves quietly beneath the hush. Somewhere, a small stream murmurs, its water singing softly over stones. You float along its sound, letting the melody of flowing water guide your breathing, slow and even, into the heart of calm. At the edge of the stream, a small temple rises, delicate and luminous. Its walls are woven with vines that shimmer faintly under moonlight, and lanterns hang like soft stars, glowing with warm light. Inside, the air is filled with quiet, and the faint scent of incense drifts gently through the space. You drift closer, sensing the deep serenity that fills this sacred place, a calm so subtle it feels like it is moving through your own breath. There, sitting upon a low platform of polished wood, is a divine woman. Her hair flows like dark water, catching the soft glow of lanterns, and her robes ripple lightly as if brushed by a gentle wind. Around her, a loom of silver and gold thread stretches across the room. Each thread glimmers faintly, reflecting the starlight above and the candlelight below. This is the weaver of dreams, and her hands move with slow, deliberate grace, weaving a tapestry of night and light, of hope and rest. She does not speak. Her voice is found in her fingers, in the delicate dance of threads moving through the loom. Each pass carries a story, each twist a whisper of comfort and reflection. You float closer, noticing how the threads glow softly as they intertwine, forming rivers, stars, and gentle shapes that seem to float above the loom. Every motion is patient, deliberate, a lesson in care and quiet attention. A small candle flickers beside the loom, casting moving shadows across the walls. They stretch and fold like soft fabric, bending gently in response to the weaver's rhythm. You sense that each shadow is part of the tapestry, every flicker a reflection of life's quiet moments. The weaver's hands glide with care, knotting silver threads into shapes that echo the motion of the night, the curve of a river, the shimmer of a star, the gentle arc of a bird in flight. Her eyes are calm, luminous, watching the threads more than the world around her. There is no hurry in her movements, no rush in her gaze. You feel yourself slowing to match her rhythm, your breath lengthening, your heartbeat softening. In her presence, every small movement carries meaning. The soft pulse of her weaving teaches patience, the quiet power of tending to life's delicate, unseen threads. Outside, the night carries a gentle wind that brushes through open windows. The weaver's hair and robes move softly with it, a delicate dance of air and light. The tapestry responds in its own quiet way, the threads bending, reflecting, and catching the glow from lanterns and stars. You notice how even the smallest movement sends ripples across her creation, and you feel the calm extend into your own chest, settling your thoughts like leaves drifting on still water. A silver thread stretches across the loom, catching the light like a soft path of stars. The weaver lifts her hands, letting the thread twist gently between her fingers. It hums softly, as though carrying the energy of dreams themselves. Each movement creates a new shape, a story, a whisper of hope. You float beside her, feeling the quiet power of her work, sensing the gentle ways in which care, attention, and intention ripple outward, touching everything with subtle grace. The loom vibrates faintly as she works, a soft, almost imperceptible hum that fills the air. It is a quiet music, a rhythm of creation and patience. You breathe with it, each inhale rising with the threads, each exhale letting go of tension, allowing your mind to drift into the woven calm. Her tapestry stretches farther than you can see, a river of silver and gold flowing into the soft shadows of the room, carrying stories of comfort, guidance, and the quiet joy of night. She pauses for a moment, lifting her gaze to the window. The stars outside shine steadily, reflected in the threads of her weaving. You notice how her eyes reflect both the sky and her creation, a mirror of calm and infinite patience. She resumes her work, twisting the threads in soft, deliberate motions, forming shapes that seem to carry the essence of rest itself. Gentle waves, curling leaves, the subtle arc of a bird's wing. Every pass of her fingers is careful and tender. Each knot and twist seems to echo a quiet teaching, that life, like the tapestry, is built with patience and care, that small gestures, when held with intention, can carry beauty and calm far beyond what is seen. You float beside her, letting these soft lessons sink into your spirit, feeling the rhythm of her weaving in the pulse of your own breath. The candlelight flickers, casting delicate patterns on the walls. Shadows ripple and bend, folding over one another in quiet harmony. You sense that every flicker and movement is part of a larger story, that the threads, the flames, and the shadows all speak in a gentle, wordless language. The weaver's presence ties it all together, guiding your attention to the quiet, hidden currents of life that carry strength, hope, and rest. Outside, the river hums faintly, a soft sound like whispered secrets. You hear it over the subtle motion of the threads, and it mirrors the slow, deliberate rhythm of the weaver's work. Each ripple in the water echoes a movement of the loom. Each soft reflection in the river mirrors a star-shaped pattern in her tapestry. You feel your spirit drift along with it, carried by the gentle interplay of night, water, light, and thread. The weaver leans slightly forward, her fingers weaving a new shape in the loom. A star emerges, its glow faint but steady, connecting to a silver river that flows across the tapestry. The shapes are not rigid, not forced. They move with natural grace, bending and flowing, forming a story of night, of dreams, of quiet hope. You feel yourself drawn into that story, letting its calm guide your thoughts and your breath, settling you more deeply into rest. The soft wind rises outside, brushing lanterns and leaves alike. The weaver lifts her hands gently, letting the threads bend with the motion. The tapestry seems to stretch beyond the walls, carrying the quiet energy of dreams into the night sky. You float beside her, sensing the gentle power of her work, feeling the soft rhythm of her presence wrap around your heart like a tender, invisible cloak. The loom hums faintly again, a subtle vibration that resonates with the night. Shadows curl softly on the walls, and the candlelight flickers in gentle waves. You feel the calmness of the room, the quiet patience of the weaver, and the rhythm of the tapestry flowing into your own spirit. Every breath becomes a thread, every exhale a soft knot, tying you into the peaceful pattern of night, dreams, and gentle care. She pauses, her hands hovering above the threads, and you sense the quiet completion of a cycle. The tapestry glows faintly, a living story of stars, rivers, and soft light. You drift beside it, feeling the energy of rest, of care, of intention carried gently through each thread. It is a calm, endless, tender rhythm, teaching the quiet joy of presence, the soft power of patience, and the subtle magic of dreams. The stars outside shine steadily, reflected in both the threads and your thoughts. The weaver rises slowly, her movements soft and deliberate, and the threads seem to sway in response, like rivers flowing under moonlight. You feel a sense of completion, yet without finality, as if the tapestry will continue to grow in quiet harmony, carrying rest and hope into every corner of the night. Let your mind rest now beside the loom, beside the gentle hands of the weaver of dreams. Let your thoughts drift into her tapestry, flowing with the silver rivers, the soft stars, and the quiet light she has woven. Let your breath follow the rhythm of her work, slow and steady, each inhale a thread of calm, each exhale a gentle release. Let us drift onward, and as the weaver of dreams continues her silent work, let your heart float gently, your spirit settle softly, and your soul rest in the luminous embrace of night woven tenderly by her quiet, patient hands. The evening drifts softly across the desert, a slow sigh of warmth fading into night. The sands stretch endlessly, a sea of gold and bronze kissed by the last glow of the sun. You float into this vast, quiet space, feeling the gentle pull of stillness and the soft rhythm of the wind brushing across the dunes. Each breath becomes slow and steady, like the undulating curves of the desert beneath the fading light. Far ahead, a faint glow rises above the sands, flickering like a quiet heartbeat. It is the shimmer of a small temple, framed by the gentle rise of dunes, its walls pale and luminous under the silver touch of the moon. Lanterns sway softly on slender poles, casting warm, golden light across the sand, and the gentle hum of the desert wind carries their glow farther than the eye can see. You drift closer, feeling the cool touch of night air and the subtle warmth of candlelight brushing your skin. Inside the temple, shadows fold gently along smooth walls. Sand drifts quietly through the open door, carried by the soft currents of wind. A woman sits at the center, her presence calm and radiant. Her robes ripple with the air, a flowing pattern that mirrors the curves of the dunes outside. Her hair is dark as the night sky, falling in quiet waves, and her eyes reflect the flickering lanterns like pools of still water. Around her, small fires burn softly in earthen bowls, their flames bending and bowing to the whispering wind. She does not speak at first. Instead, her breath and her hands move with the rhythm of the desert itself. Slowly, a soft melody rises, floating like a silver thread across the sand. Her voice is gentle, low, a tender song that carries the wisdom of stillness and the hush of endless space. You float into it, letting the vibrations of her song settle deep into your chest, each note a soft caress on your mind and spirit. The desert outside listens with you. Dunes shift gently beneath the night wind, and distant stars shimmer faintly above, each one echoing her melody. Her song is a prayer and a lullaby, carrying calm over the vast expanse of sand, touching unseen life hidden in the folds of the dunes. You feel the harmony of the song weaving through your thoughts, untangling tension, smoothing each edge of the day's worries. Her hands rise, delicate and slow, tracing arcs in the air. Each movement seems to direct the melody, guiding it over hills and valleys, across the silent dunes. You notice how the music bends with her fingers, flowing like a river of sound that has no beginning and no end, only quiet, measured motion. The desert itself seems to sway in response, each grain of sand catching the rhythm, shimmering softly beneath moonlight. The fires around her flicker in delicate harmony with the song. Shadows stretch and curl along the walls, shifting like slow waves in the sea. You drift closer, sensing the soft dialogue between flame, shadow, and song. Her presence teaches that the quiet voice of nature, of heart, and of spirit can carry more meaning than hurried words ever could. In the stillness of the temple, the desert, and the night, every note of her song becomes a thread of calm woven through your thoughts. A small wind rises outside, carrying sand in gentle arcs, brushing the temple's open doors. The melody bends softly with it, expanding and stretching into the night. You feel as if the song carries you across the dunes, letting your spirit drift with the gentle rise and fall of wind and sand. Every note is a breath, every pause a moment to sink deeper into quiet, every vibration a soft guide to rest. Her voice dips and rises slowly, in a rhythm that mirrors the heartbeat of the desert. You notice how each phrase of her song is deliberate, yet effortless, echoing patience, harmony, and care. Her song is not hurried. It is patient, like the desert waiting through centuries, like the stars holding their steady light across endless skies. You breathe in that patience, letting it settle in your chest, your mind, and your spirit. The temple walls are cool under your imagined touch, the stones smooth and calming. Fires flicker in rhythm with the soft song, casting golden shapes onto the sand-laden floor. You notice the tiniest details, the curl of shadow along a wall, the flicker of flame on a small bowl, the faint rustle of air moving through the temple. Each tiny sensation becomes part of the melody, joining her song, and you feel your awareness merge with the gentle rhythm of night. She rises slightly, her hands moving like the brush of wind over dunes. Each gesture is mirrored in her voice, each note bending to follow the subtle arcs of her fingers. You float with her, sensing the unity of movement, sound, and quiet intention. It is a soft meditation, a slow, patient ritual that teaches listening, attention, and calm. Your breath lengthens to match the rhythm. Each exhale a release, each inhale a soft gathering of peace. Outside, the moon drifts higher, silver light spilling over the desert like water. The dunes glimmer faintly in its glow, shadows folding softly into one another. Her song continues to float outward, touching every curve of sand, every silent stone, every hidden creature. You feel your spirit drift along with it, carried by the tender currents of wind and melody. Every note becomes a lullaby, every pause a quiet embrace, every vibration a gentle reminder of the calm that exists in the world. She lowers her hands, letting them rest lightly on her knees. Her eyes are closed, her breath slow and even, yet the song continues, flowing from her as naturally as wind over dunes. You notice how the desert itself seems to hum along, each grain of sand vibrating faintly in response. Her presence and her song merge with the night, creating a space of infinite calm, where time feels gentle, and rest comes easily. The temple seems to expand in your perception, stretching beyond its walls into the vast desert. Every sound, the fire, the wind, the song, blends into a single soft current of peace. You float within it, feeling each note seep into your mind, softening every edge, quieting every lingering thought. The melody carries the wisdom of patient presence, of quiet devotion, of gentle care for all that exists. She lifts her voice once more, a single note, long and steady, resonating through the temple, across the sand and into the stars. You feel it vibrate within your chest, a calm pulse that synchronizes with your own heartbeat. Each breath flows in harmony with her song, slow and steady, filling your spirit with quiet light. The melody holds nothing hurried, nothing sharp. It carries only stillness, only gentle reassurance. A soft wind brushes through the temple, lifting the edges of her robes, the faint smoke from incense, and even the edges of candlelight. The song bends with it, flowing over the flames, around the shadows, and across the sand outside. You feel the gentle sweep of air across your own face, the soft embrace of night, and the warm comfort of knowing that every note, every flicker, every breath is exactly as it should be. Time dissolves here. Each note of her song stretches, each shadow drifts, each flicker of flame lingers. You drift with them, suspended in the quiet harmony of desert wind and sacred melody. Your body feels light, your thoughts soft and slow, your mind open to the gentle rhythm of night and song. The fire in the bowls glows steadily, a warm companion to the cool silver moonlight. You float beside it, letting the warmth mingle with the gentle pulse of the song. Shadows fold around you like soft silk, and you feel yourself cradled by the slow, patient movements of wind, voice, and flame. Each element carries meaning without words, a quiet language that reaches directly to the heart. Her song begins to fade gently, not abruptly, but like a river narrowing as it reaches the sea. You notice the soft, lingering vibrations, the echoes that remain long after the note has passed. Each echo is a soft nudge toward rest, a reminder that stillness carries its own wisdom and that calm, patient presence is a sanctuary. You breathe in the last threads of melody, letting them settle deep into your spirit, like sand sinking softly at the bottom of a quiet stream. The winds outside calm to a gentle whisper. The dunes sway faintly under the touch of night. Lanterns flicker once, twice, then glow steadily, holding a soft warmth in the darkness. You feel the song's final notes settle around you, a soft embrace that lingers in your chest, your mind, and your soul. It is a lullaby of wind, of sand, of quiet devotion, of calm presence that carries you softly toward sleep. Let your mind rest now, drifting with the desert winds, floating alongside the sacred songs that rise and fall gently over endless sands. Let each note of her melody sink into your spirit, each pause a gentle cradle, each breath a soft guide into peace. Let us drift onward, and as the desert holds its quiet song beneath the silver moon, now rest, as the stars return and your heart floats in the calm embrace of night. The sea whispers softly under a sky brushed with the last hues of twilight. Waves lap gently against jagged stones, their rhythm steady and unhurried, like a quiet heartbeat in the world. You drift along the shore, feeling the cool mist of ocean spray on your skin and the soft sigh of wind that travels over the water. The horizon glows faintly with fading sunlight, blending with the deepening blue of evening, and you sense a calm settling into every fiber of your being. Far in the distance, a lone light flickers atop a rocky island. Its glow is gentle, steady, not urgent, like a lantern held in patient hands. The island is quiet and small, yet it holds a presence that draws you near. You float toward it, carried by soft waves and slow, patient breaths, letting each ripple lull your mind into stillness. The scent of salt water and warm stone fills the air, and you notice how the waves' rhythm seems to echo the steady glow that shines from above. On the highest cliff of the island, a lighthouse stands, simple and timeless. Its walls are pale and smooth, worn by years of wind and sea, yet unbroken, steadfast. At the top, a woman moves gently, her figure calm and serene, her robes brushing softly against the stone floor. She tends to the light with slow, deliberate movements, her hands steady, her presence unwavering. She does not hurry, yet her care fills the space with a quiet strength, a sense of protection and guidance that seems to extend far beyond the island. Her eyes are calm as the still waters in hidden coves, reflecting the lantern's glow and the faint shimmer of stars beginning to appear overhead. She watches the waves and the horizon with a patient gaze, sensing travelers on distant waters, guiding them with the soft, steady rhythm of her light. Each turn of the lighthouse's lamp sends a gentle arc across the waves, a circle of comfort in the vastness of the night. You float with her presence, feeling the calm radiating outward, a slow, soft pulse that moves through the sea and into your heart. The island itself seems to breathe in harmony with her. Soft grasses sway quietly over the cliffs, whispering secrets to the wind. Pebbles rest at the water's edge, smooth and warm from the day's sun. Small birds settle into hidden niches along the rocks, their faint chirps blending with the distant sigh of waves. The entire place moves in gentle rhythm, echoing the quiet vigilance of the woman who watches over the waters. Her song is not a melody of words, but a presence of soundless guidance. The lighthouse's lamp rotates steadily, casting circles of light that dance on the waves, glimmering against the surface of the sea. You imagine each beam as a thread of calm, extending across miles of ocean, touching the hearts of those who may feel lost or weary. Even at great distances, her care reaches them, a silent reassurance that someone watches over the path, guiding travelers with a steady hand and quiet patience. You notice how she tends to small details, each act a soft prayer of protection. She adjusts the lamp carefully, checks the oil that fuels its gentle flame, and smooths the surfaces of the walls with quiet reverence. Her movements are rhythmic, meditative, and unhurried. Each motion echoes the waves below. Each gesture mirrors the sway of the grasses, and you feel your own body begin to match this rhythm. Your breath lengthens, your heartbeat slows, and your thoughts soften into calm. The sea around the island murmurs softly, waves brushing the stones in a continuous, gentle song. The light arcs across the water again, illuminating tiny reflections of silver where the moon begins its ascent. You float with this rhythm, carried by the quiet strength of her presence. You sense that this island has always been a place of safety, a sanctuary for those who wander, for those who seek guidance in the vastness of night and water. A soft breeze drifts from the ocean, carrying the faint scent of salt and cool stone. It touches your skin like a tender caress, wrapping you in the quiet energy of the island. You notice the small details, a star reflecting on a wave, the gentle sway of a leaf at the cliff's edge, the faint shimmer of moss on worn rocks. Every element feels connected, each part of this world moving in harmony with the lighthouse and the woman who keeps its flame. She pauses for a moment, standing at the top of the tower, gazing across the waves. The moon has risen higher, casting silver streaks on the water, and her light dances alongside them. You sense her awareness of everything, each ripple, each shadow, each traveler moving through the vast night. Her vigilance is calm, her guidance steady, a reminder that even in the vastness of the world, someone watches with gentle care. Below, small coves nestle between rocky outcrops, their waters quiet and still. Tiny shells glimmer faintly where the waves touch them. Her light reaches these hidden spaces as well, spilling warmth and comfort over every stone and ripple. You drift with her presence, noticing how even the smallest corners of the world receive her gentle protection. There is patience in her watching, a quiet understanding that all beings need time, space, and care to move safely through life's waters. Night deepens slowly. The stars grow brighter, forming delicate patterns in the sky. Each star seems to nod gently to the lighthouse, acknowledging its quiet vigilance. You feel as though the sky itself is wrapped around the island, sharing the calm and patient energy of the woman who tends the flame. Every breath you take carries this calm into your body, every exhale releasing tension, every heartbeat echoing the steady pulse of the lamp above. She lowers her hands, resting them lightly on the railing of the lighthouse. Her gaze follows a small sail in the distance, barely visible in the silver light. The beam arcs across the water, a soft beacon of hope, guiding the vessel safely through unseen dangers. You imagine the traveler feeling this light, sensing the quiet reassurance that someone watches over the journey. You too feel guided by it, your mind and heart eased by the certainty of her presence. The waves continue their gentle song, and the breeze carries faint whispers through the cliffs. You notice the rhythm of the island, the gentle rise of the tide, the faint rustle of leaves, the soft hum of the lighthouse lamp. Each detail moves in harmony with the woman, and you drift along with it, your mind untangling, your thoughts smoothing into calm. Her patience is a lesson whispered softly into the night. You sense that true guidance does not demand attention, nor does it hurry. It exists in quiet care, in steady presence, in the small acts that ripple outward gently into the world. You float within this lesson, letting it fill your mind, letting it wash over your spirit like the tide upon sand. Slowly the night deepens fully. The stars shimmer with delicate brightness, the waves murmur softly, and the lighthouse's glow arcs steadily across the water. You feel a gentle warmth spreading through you, a sense of safety and calm that rests in your chest. Her presence, her light, and the quiet rhythm of the island become a soft cocoon around your thoughts. You feel held, guided, and embraced by the gentle protection of this sacred place. As the wind sighs softly and the waves continue their gentle song, the lighthouse light rotates once more, steady and sure. You float with it, carried by the patient rhythm, the steady guidance, the quiet watchfulness of the divine woman who tends her flame. Her light, like her spirit, is unhurried, comforting, and eternal, and it reaches you now in this moment, offering calm and rest. Let your breath settle fully into the rhythm of the night. Feel the steady arc of the light across the water. Feel the gentle sway of the waves beneath it, and know that you are held in the same calm and patient care. Every thought softens, every muscle relaxes, every heartbeat matches the gentle pulse of this quiet island. Let us drift onward, and as the lighthouse continues to shine over the forgotten isle, now rest, as the stars return and the sea carries you into the gentle embrace of night. You arrive at the edge of a quiet grove, just as twilight drifts gently across the sky. The air is soft, warm, and fragrant, carrying the gentle perfume of flowers that seem to glow faintly under the touch of fading sunlight. You float among petals, letting their colors and shapes wash over your mind like a gentle tide, softening every thought, every tension. The garden is alive, yet calm, each leaf and blossom moving only as much as the wind allows. A woman walks slowly along a winding path, her hands brushing lightly over the tops of flowers. Her steps are measured and quiet, as if she does not wish to disturb the gentle hum of life surrounding her. Her robes are soft and flowing, blending with the colors of the garden. Her presence feels like sunlight spilling softly across a pond, warming without burning, nurturing without force. She tends the blooms as if each one carries a tiny heartbeat, each petal a note in a quiet, eternal song. The garden stretches before you, a tapestry of life arranged with care and devotion. Blossoms of every hue sway gently in a breeze that seems almost conscious, brushing your skin with its cool touch. Birds flutter softly among the branches, their feathers catching the last glimmers of sunlight. The woman pauses at a small patch of pale blue flowers, bending just enough to whisper to them, her words soft, almost like the hum of a lullaby. You feel the hush of the grove wrap around you, and each breath you take carries the scent of earth and flowers deep into your body, settling into your chest like warm water. In this place, growth is patient and gentle. Nothing is rushed. Each leaf unfolds slowly. Each blossom opens in its own time, and you sense the wisdom of this rhythm. The woman moves with it, her hands guiding the life around her, supporting, not forcing. You watch as a small bud stretches toward the light, and she leans closer, her presence steady and calm, giving the plant space to grow while offering a soft touch of encouragement. The quiet strength in her movement is reflected in every aspect of the garden. Nearby, a small stream winds through the grove, water murmuring softly over smooth stones. The reflection of the sky dances on its surface, mingling with the green of ferns and the pink of floating blossoms. She kneels beside it, letting her fingers trail in the water. Ripples form and travel outward slowly, carrying gentle light with them, touching every corner of the garden. You drift closer, feeling the cool mist rising from the stream, and notice how even the smallest movements create waves of calm that extend far beyond the eye can see. The woman gathers a handful of soil and lets it sift through her fingers. Tiny motes float in the air, catching the last rays of sun like tiny stars scattered over the earth. She kneels, planting seeds with tender care, speaking softly to them in a language older than words. The breeze carries her whispers along the paths of the garden, settling into petals, settling into your thoughts, filling you with ease. Every gesture, every breath, every pause she takes is a lesson in patience, in gentleness, in the quiet power of nurturing life. You notice a small group of flowers near the edge of the grove, leaning toward one another as if sharing secrets. She bends to tend them, adjusting their stems, ensuring that each has space to reach toward the sky. Her care is not hurried, it is deliberate, loving, quiet. And as you watch, you feel a soft weight lift from your mind. Thoughts that pressed and prodded seem to float away on the breeze, leaving a clear, calm space in which you can rest. The garden is more than flowers and streams. It is a sanctuary, a place where life grows in quiet cycles. Each flower teaches patience. Each leaf speaks of subtle strength. Each branch reminds you that even the smallest touch can create profound change. The woman moves among them with quiet reverence, aware of this truth. You feel her awareness wrapping around you like a soft shawl, her presence a gentle guide into calm and stillness. A golden light begins to appear among the petals as fireflies emerge, flickering softly in the dimming glow. Their tiny lanterns dance through the air, floating over blossoms and water alike. She smiles faintly, watching them with gentle fascination. Each tiny spark mirrors the patience she embodies, the knowledge that all things grow and shine in their own time. You feel your eyelids grow heavy, each blink slowing, as your body absorbs the rhythm of the grove. She kneels beside a young sapling, her hands cradling its tender trunk. Her touch does not press or force, but supports and encourages. You sense the quiet conversation between her and the tree, a shared understanding of slow growth, of time, and of care. Each leaf that unfurls, each branch that stretches skyward, carries her gentle guidance. You imagine your own thoughts as the sapling, leaning toward calm and clarity under her soft light. The wind moves through the branches, carrying whispers of flowers and water, her soft footsteps, and the faint hum of the world settling into night. The garden itself seems to breathe, expanding and contracting in harmony with the gentle movements of its guardian. You float with it, carried by each sigh of leaves, each ripple of water, each flicker of firefly light. Every part of you is cradled in the rhythm of the grove, soothed by the steady patience of care. In a quiet corner, she tends a bed of lavender, brushing petals with soft fingers. The scent drifts toward you, calming every tension in your muscles, softening your thoughts, and inviting deep, unhurried breaths. She moves slowly from one cluster to another, her attention deliberate, gentle, and kind. Every gesture reminds you that growth, rest, and care are intertwined, that soft patience can create profound strength. As night deepens, the moon rises above the grove, casting silver light across petals, water, and stone. She pauses for a moment, hands resting lightly on the ground, and gazes at the moon's reflection in the stream. Her eyes are calm, steady, and full of quiet understanding. You feel this calm reaching you, flowing into your chest, into your hands, into your thoughts. The garden, the woman, the soft night, all merge into a gentle embrace that holds you. The air hums with the soft music of the grove, leaves brushing against one another, water trickling, petals touching softly in the breeze. Each sound is a gentle lullaby, each movement a wave that rocks your mind toward stillness. You notice your heartbeat aligning with this rhythm, slowing, deepening, becoming one with the subtle pulse of life around you. She walks slowly toward a small archway where the garden opens to the wider world. Her movements are calm and unhurried, each step deliberate, each gesture imbued with care. Even as she leaves the central grove, The energy of her presence lingers, a soft light upon every leaf, every flower, every corner of the serene place. You sense her care extending outward, touching all life within the garden and reaching quietly into your mind. A single bloom tilts toward the moonlight, petals glowing faintly silver. She pauses to watch it, her expression soft, a smile touching her lips. You feel the same gentle light fill your chest, settling there like a warm, steady flame. The garden, the flowers, the stream, the air, and her presence all whisper the same lesson. Growth is gentle. Patience is sacred, and care is a quiet, eternal strength. You breathe slowly, fully, absorbing the calm of the grove, letting every exhale carry away tension and every inhale fill you with quiet energy. The flowers sway in a soft rhythm. The water ripples gently, and the moonlight glimmers across the leaves. The world outside seems far away, and in this space time slows. You are cradled in gentle presence, surrounded by nurturing light and the serene energy of life unfolding at its own pace. The woman kneels once more in the heart of the grove, hands brushing the earth, petals, and water with equal care. You sense her awareness encompassing everything around her, flowing into you in waves of calm, understanding, and rest. Each step, each whisper, each breath she shares becomes a part of the rhythm that holds you in serenity. Let us drift onward, with every flower, every leaf, every ripple of water, carrying us gently into rest. Now rest as the moonlight settles over the garden and the soft energy of patience and care fills your dreams. Above the quiet world, the sky begins to deepen into twilight. The first stars blink softly, one by one, like lanterns opening in the vastness. You float upward in your mind, weightless, carried on a breeze that smells faintly of night-blooming flowers. The air is cool and gentle, brushing your cheeks like a tender sigh. All around you, the heavens seem still, yet there is motion, a subtle, infinite rhythm, a slow heartbeat echoing through the cosmos. In the midst of this vast expanse, a figure appears, luminous and fluid, moving across the stars with a quiet grace. She is the celestial dancer, a goddess whose every motion creates ripples of light, soft and slow, like the gentle waves of a midnight sea. Each step she takes leaves a trail of stardust, glittering faintly, spreading calm across the darkness. You drift closer, noticing how her dance is not hurried. There is no rush, no urgency, only the serene unfolding of movement, each gesture deliberate, each sway a whisper of peace. Her arms rise, slow and circular, drawing constellations into gentle spirals. The stars respond to her rhythm, orbiting softly, tracing patterns that soothe the mind. You watch as a comet bends its path to glide along the curve of her hand, light dissolving into delicate trails of silver. The universe seems to breathe with her, exhaling calm into every corner of space, touching your heart with the quiet knowledge that rest can be a motion, a rhythm, a flow. Beneath her, galaxies spin lazily, their colors muted and serene, like painted silk drifting on an unseen current. She steps lightly from one cluster of stars to another, her feet never touching, yet leaving a faint shimmer where she passes. Each movement feels like a lullaby sung in light, a song without sound that hums in the chest and mind. You feel yourself rocking gently with her dance, each sway syncing with your breath, each pause in her motion, allowing you to sink deeper into calm. The goddess bends gracefully, gathering a handful of stardust. She scatters it slowly, and tiny points of light drift downward like snowflakes made of silver. As they fall, you imagine them touching every thought, every lingering worry, softening edges and smoothing corners. Her gestures are soft, and her power is quiet. There is no fire, no thunder, only the gentle, unbroken thread of movement that connects every star, every planet, every silent space in between. A faint melody seems to rise from the heavens, though it has no source. It is in the movement itself. The brushing of starlight against starlight. The rotation of planets in perfect, slow arcs. The pulse of constellations forming and dissolving in harmony. Her dance is the conductor, guiding each motion with gentle attention, as if even the smallest twinkle holds a sacred place in her choreography. You float along with it, drifting, inhaling calm with every turn and fold of her robe of light. She lifts one arm higher, and a spiral galaxy tilts softly, reflecting the curve of her hand. Stars ripple outward in soft waves, carrying peace across distances that seem impossible to measure. You feel the waves reach you, brushing your mind like a soft feather, easing the tension of the day. Each spiral she forms is a circle of rest, each sway a reminder that calm can be motion, that sleep can be woven through gentle rhythm. Her gaze sweeps across the heavens, and you sense her attention is infinite but tender. Every planet, every star, every drifting mote of cosmic dust is acknowledged. Nothing is too small to be embraced. You feel the same care reaching you as though the celestial dancer's awareness is settling softly on your shoulders, whispering, "Rest here. It is safe. You may let go." You exhale slowly, letting the weight of this gentle presence dissolve the last tight knots of thought. Below, a nebula glows faintly, like a candle flickering in soft wind. She turns, her robes of light flowing around her in wide, slow arcs. Each movement bends the colors of the nebula, blending pinks, purples, and soft blues into waves of calm. You feel drawn into the colors, carried along with them, drifting across the vast quiet spaces between stars. Her dance is a bridge, connecting distant points with gentle curves, soft threads of starlight, binding the universe in quiet symmetry. She pauses, hovering in the center of a ring of stars. Her arms fold slowly over her chest, and the motion is like a heartbeat settling into rest. The stars respond, dimming slightly, pulsing softly with the rhythm of her breath. Even in stillness, there is movement, a gentle, expansive motion that carries calm across the cosmos. You feel it in your own chest, a soft vibration of ease, a quiet reminder that rest is always possible, even amid motion. From somewhere beyond the visible stars, a faint comet trails silver light, curving gently along the edges of her motion. The goddess gestures softly, guiding it with delicate movements. The comet arcs across the sky, leaving behind a sparkling trail that gradually fades, as if teaching the universe the art of letting go. You imagine each trailing sparkle as a small worry released, drifting away into space, dissolving into silence and light. Her dance begins again, slow and deliberate. She twirls, a full circle that takes an eternity to complete, yet feels effortless. You drift alongside her, moving with the rhythm of galaxies, nebulae, and constellations, each turn inviting your mind to follow, each pause a soft inhalation of peace. Her body bends and arcs like water flowing over stones, her energy rippling gently into every quiet space. Sleep feels close, yet calm and unhurried, as if each movement lulls not just the mind but the soul itself. Small clusters of stars gather around her, moving in harmony with her steps. You notice how even the tiniest points of light respond to her presence, rising and falling with gentle obedience, forming patterns that are both complex and serene. You realize that her dance is not for herself alone. It carries the weight of all things, offering rhythm and comfort to every corner of the cosmos. You feel the same embrace extend to yourself, a soft, protective, and nurturing energy that asks nothing in return. She lifts her arms once more, and a gentle spiral of meteorites circles around her, tiny points of light spinning slowly, carefully, without urgency. The soft pattern reminds you of water flowing in a quiet stream, of leaves swaying without effort, of breath moving in and out like waves on a calm shore. Each orbit carries you a little deeper into rest, each turn a small, invisible hand guiding your mind toward sleep. As her dance slows, the stars begin to settle, their motion becoming soft ripples across a velvet sky. The goddess hovers in the center, radiant yet gentle, her body still moving just enough to keep the flow alive. You notice the soft glow of distant galaxies, the faint shimmer of nebulae, and the quiet twinkle of stars that feel almost like the eyelids of the universe closing. You too feel your eyes grow heavier, your body softer, your mind quieter. She bends slightly, her gaze resting on the smallest of stars, a single point of silver in the vast black. You sense her blessing there, a soft, silent affirmation that even the tiniest spark matters, that each part of the universe and each part of yourself is cared for. You breathe in the stillness of that moment, letting it fill your lungs, your chest, your mind, until there is nothing but calm. The celestial dancer swirls once more, slowly dissolving into starlight, her motion lingering like a fading song. The universe sighs with her departure, a gentle exhale that brushes across you like a soft wind. Every star, every particle of light, every faint shimmer is part of her quiet blessing. You are enveloped in it, carried gently toward rest, toward the soft rhythm of dreams. Let us drift onward, moving with the flow of her dance, floating with the stars, sinking slowly into quiet. Now rest as the heavens settle and the soft light of the celestial dancer lingers in your mind. Sleep comes like a gentle tide, carrying you into dreams that are calm, luminous, and infinite. Night falls softly across the land, and the air carries a hint of cool mist, as if the earth itself exhales a quiet sigh. You drift gently along a winding path, surrounded by the stillness of twilight. The sky glows faintly with the last traces of the sun, and distant stars begin to blink awake. Tiny lanterns opening in the vast, darkened sky. The gentle sound of flowing water reaches you, a soft, hidden melody beneath the hush of the world. Ahead, a grove emerges, thick with ancient trees whose leaves whisper in the slow evening wind. Among them lies a pool of water, perfectly still, reflecting the sky above like a mirror of night. Here the keeper of hidden waters waits. Her presence is subtle yet unmistakable, radiating a calm that feels like the gentle pull of a tide. She moves without hurry, her robes brushing the grass like the lightest breeze. You sense the waters themselves responding to her, shimmering softly, their surface rippling in tender patterns, like breathing made visible. The keeper's eyes are quiet and deep, reflecting the silver glow of the moon that now rises over the grove. Her hands hover over the water, palms open, and the surface bends slightly beneath her touch, as if acknowledging a soft command. Each motion she makes sends delicate waves outward, touching everything in their path. The ripples reach the banks, the trees, the earth, and even your heart, carrying with them a gentle invitation to slow, to breathe, to enter the flow of calm. She begins her work as a guardian, not with grand gestures but with patient, deliberate care. Stones are arranged along the edges of the spring, each one placed with thought and attention, creating a natural rhythm that guides the water along its hidden path. The pool seems endless, a quiet mirror extending below the earth, connecting unseen springs that nourish the land. You imagine the waters winding through roots, rocks, and soil, carrying life quietly, unseen yet essential. Soft lights flicker within the depths of the pool, tiny points of iridescent glow that seem to pulse in time with her breath. She leans closer, and the lights shimmer more brightly, like tiny stars caught in the water. These hidden illuminations remind you that life carries secrets, unseen but alive, moving with gentle purpose. The keeper teaches without words that presence alone can guide, nurture, and protect. Her patience flows like water itself, soft, persistent, unwavering. Around the spring, ferns and moss grow lush and green, nourished by the hidden water she tends. You notice small animals stepping softly to the edge, drinking with careful reverence, trusting the unseen currents that sustain them. Even the air seems different here, heavier with quiet, filled with the soft scent of damp earth and blossoms that open only in the evening. The grove feels like a hidden sanctuary, a place untouched by hurry, a reminder that the slow, steady rhythms of life are sacred. The keeper's movements are fluid, like the water she guards. She lifts her hands, letting droplets fall from her fingers in arcs that catch the moonlight. Each droplet spins through the air, a miniature reflection of the sky, then settles into the pool, joining the larger flow. You imagine your own thoughts as these droplets, small and wandering, gently returning to the calm current that carries them safely along. Her presence guides without demanding, and the waters echo her quiet authority. A faint mist rises from the pool, curling in delicate ribbons that float upward and dissolve in the night. The keeper stretches her arms, allowing the mist to brush against her skin as if welcoming it as a companion. The air is cool, but not chilling, soft yet alive. You feel the same mist brushing your mind, lifting away lingering tension, carrying your worries along its invisible stream. Each breath you take becomes slower, deeper, following the rhythm of the hidden waters. The keeper bends to the pool again, cupping her hands to catch the water. It runs through her fingers like silver threads, singing softly as it falls back. She lets her eyes follow the motion, and you follow with her, feeling the gentle ebb and flow of life itself. Her guidance is not loud, not forceful, It is gentle, deliberate, a lesson in quiet devotion. Even in the deepest darkness, even in hidden places, care and attention ripple outward, reaching beyond what the eye can see. She walks along the bank, each step measured, her reflection stretching across the still surface. The light from the moon glows softly around her, illuminating the water's gentle curves. She pauses, tilting her head, and for a moment, the world feels suspended. Time stretches, slow and unbroken, and you notice the faint hum of life in everything. The water, the trees, the night creatures moving softly in the shadows. All is connected through the quiet touch of her presence. Small fish glide beneath the surface, their bodies shimmering in the dim light. They circle around her movements undisturbed, drawn not by command but by the natural harmony she radiates. You feel that same harmony touching you, a soft pulse in your chest that moves outward into your limbs, your mind, your very being. You imagine yourself as one of the hidden currents, flowing without effort, trusting the gentle guidance of unseen hands. The keeper leans close to the pool again, her breath creating faint ripples. She smiles softly, not at anyone, not at anything, but as though acknowledging the life flowing around her, the water, the soil, the plants, the creatures, even the distant stars mirrored above. Her smile is a reminder that vigilance does not need to be loud or anxious. It can be gentle, patient, quiet. This is the language of the hidden waters, a song without sound, a presence without demand. From deep within the spring, tiny bubbles rise slowly, each one carrying a shimmer of light to the surface. She watches them carefully, ensuring their path is unbroken, their ascent steady. You realize the bubbles are like small moments of clarity in the mind, fleeting, delicate, yet profoundly essential. The keeper nurtures them with the same patience she applies to the flowing waters, reminding you that even small things can hold immense significance when tended with care. A soft breeze moves through the grove, rustling the leaves and carrying the scent of night-blooming flowers. The keeper lifts her hands to the wind, letting it wrap around her, joining her presence with the gentle motion of the trees. You feel the same wind brushing your face, guiding your breath, reminding you of the quiet interconnectedness of all things. Each inhalation draws in serenity, each exhalation releases tension. You are carried on the currents of calm, as invisible and vital as the hidden waters themselves. She begins a slow circle around the pool, her feet barely disturbing the soft moss underfoot. The water ripples in gentle waves, following her, folding in on itself with every step. Her movement is a dance, but one of soft devotion, not spectacle. Each motion honors the hidden life below, the unseen currents, the quiet pulses that sustain all things. You drift with her rhythm, mind and body swaying in harmony with the water's song. A firefly glows near the edge, flickering in tiny pulses. The keeper watches it for a long moment, then gestures subtly, and it begins to dance in wider circles, tracing patterns over the water. The light moves with gentle purpose, casting small reflections that shimmer like whispers on the surface. You feel your own thoughts beginning to shimmer, settling into softer patterns, following the rhythm of calm set before you. The keeper kneels at the edge of the pool, her reflection merging with the water's surface. She cups the water to her lips, drinking slowly, then lifts her hands, letting the excess flow back into the pool. Every motion is deliberate, reverent, and unhurried. You sense the sacredness of patience, the quiet power of tending without haste. Her presence teaches that vigilance and care can be gentle, that guidance does not need to disturb, and that life is nurtured in the small, persistent gestures of attention. The moon climbs higher, silvering the waters, the grove, and the keeper herself. She raises her hands one final time, letting the water cascade in slow arcs back into the pool. The ripples spread outward, touching the edges of the grove, the roots of the trees, and the distant shadows beyond. You feel those same ripples reaching you, flowing into your mind, softening every corner, smoothing every edge. Calm settles in, deep and unbroken. She stands silently at the center, motionless yet full of presence. The water, the trees, the night creatures, and the distant stars all seem to pause, honoring her watch. You notice your own breathing echoing this rhythm, slow and deliberate, steady and serene. You are part of this hidden flow now, carried gently along the currents of care and quiet devotion. Let us drift onward, following the paths of hidden waters, sinking deeper into rest, carried by the gentle rhythm of her presence. Let the currents of patience, calm, and care flow through your mind, through your body, through your heart. Now rest as the keeper of hidden waters watches silently, her luminous, tranquil energy wrapping around you like a soft, unbroken blanket of night. The pool glimmers one last time, reflecting the stars above, and you drift further, deeper into sleep, knowing that every hidden current, every quiet ripple, holds the promise of calm and renewal. Night settles gently over the quiet land, a soft blanket of darkness stretching across hills and valleys. The stars flicker faintly, their light diffused by a thin, tranquil haze. You float along a narrow path, your steps unhurried, guided by the subtle glow of amber light ahead. The air is warm with the scent of dry wood and evening blossoms, and a soft wind brushes your cheeks, whispering slowly through the trees. Ahead, a circle of stone surrounds a gentle fire, its flames golden, amber, and calm. The light dances slowly, reaching upward as if stretching toward the sleeping stars above. This is the place of the Keeper of Wisdom, a divine woman whose presence is serene, her motions unhurried, and whose teachings glow as softly as the fire she tends. She sits cross-legged beside the flames, her robes shifting like liquid gold in the amber glow. The fire reflects in her eyes, not harsh, not blinding, but soft, warm, inviting. You feel drawn to her, not by curiosity, but by a quiet recognition, as though your mind already knows the rhythm of her presence. The world around her feels slower, the night deeper, the air carrying a gentle hum that calms the restless heart. The keeper reaches her hands toward the fire, palms open. Tiny sparks rise, not in sudden bursts, but in delicate, deliberate arcs, as if each one carries a message of care. They float upward, fading into the night, leaving a trail of gentle light. You watch them drift slowly, thinking of each spark as a small piece of wisdom, not spoken aloud, but glowing with understanding. Each spark reminds you that knowledge does not need to hurry. It grows, settles, and warms, like the fire itself. Around the circle, the ground is soft with moss, and small stones form a natural path leading closer to the flames. The keeper rises slowly, her movements fluid, each step echoing the fire's gentle rhythm. She traces the circle with her fingers, and the amber light seems to lean toward her touch, flickering softly, caressing her presence with quiet reverence. You follow her movements in thought and breath, your own pulse syncing with the slow dance of light and warmth. The fire hums softly, as if breathing, and the keeper listens. She tilts her head slightly, letting the warmth of the flames brush against her face. From the quiet edges of the night, distant crickets sing their slow, steady song. The keeper smiles gently, her gaze soft, acknowledging the harmony around her. Even the wind seems to pause to feel the gentle presence of the circle, the careful tending of light, the deep patience of wisdom. She bends low to the fire, cupping her hands around a small flame. It does not burn, not sharply, but fills her palms with a gentle warmth that radiates outward. She lifts it slowly, letting it hover, dancing in midair, reflecting in her eyes like a miniature sun. You feel the same warmth settling into your chest, filling it softly, brushing away the day's quiet tension. Each flicker of light carries a whisper of calm, a gentle instruction that learning, like fire, needs space and care to illuminate. Around the circle, shadows sway with the firelight, shifting slowly, forming shapes of branches, leaves, and the occasional small animal drawn to the glow. The keeper watches them with soft attention, letting the light touch each one evenly. Her gaze is not rigid, not commanding. It simply notices, acknowledges, and honors. Even the smallest shadow feels held in the quiet embrace of her presence. You realize that wisdom is like this fire. It does not force, it does not demand. It simply warms, touches, and moves softly through the world. She rises fully, standing beside the flames, her arms wide as if embracing the night itself. The fire stretches upward, and she steps lightly around the circle, letting each movement guide the flames. Sparks drift lazily, rising like slow amber stars. You feel the rhythm of her steps resonate inside yourself, soft and steady. There is no urgency, no rush, only a careful, tender guidance that shapes everything it touches. The keeper speaks, not in words, but through the motion of her hands, the tilt of her head, the slow arc of the flames. Each movement carries meaning, clear yet unspoken, teaching through the quiet language of care. You watch a tiny ember rise, drift, and settle into the moss at the edge of the circle. It glows softly, holding its light without struggle. You think of this as a lesson. Patience allows understanding to shine without pressure, and gentle guidance nurtures clarity. She moves closer to the edge of the circle, gathering small twigs and dry leaves, placing them carefully into the fire. The flames respond, swelling briefly, then settling into a gentle, steady glow once more. Every addition is deliberate, each action deliberate. There is an unspoken teaching here. Wisdom, like the fire, is tended slowly, with care, with attention, and with a heart that moves calmly. You feel the quiet settling around you, the warmth reaching your shoulders, your hands, your mind. From somewhere beyond the circle, a soft rustle of leaves blends with the fire's hum. The keeper tilts her head, listening, then turns to let the amber light touch the shadowed space, revealing tiny forms of life resting at the forest's edge. She does not disturb them. She allows the light to move softly, acknowledging without intruding. You feel that same respect echoing through your own heart. A lesson in gentle presence, in observing without forcing, in guiding without pressing. The keeper kneels now, hands resting over the fire, letting the flames lick softly around her palms. She closes her eyes, and for a long, slow moment, all is quiet, but for the gentle breathing of the night. The fire flickers, tiny tongues of amber moving over her fingers, then rising upward in delicate spirals. You feel yourself following that spiral inward, letting each breath move like warm light through your chest, your mind, your limbs. Calm fills every corner of your awareness. Slowly, she opens her eyes, and the fire responds to her gaze, settling into a pattern of gentle waves. Tiny sparks float upward, fading softly into the dark. Her hands lift, guiding a few into slow arcs, letting them hover, drift, and return to the flames. You notice the soft patience of every motion, the care with which each element is treated. There is a rhythm here, one you recognize as ancient and unbroken. Wisdom flows gently, without haste, illuminating only what is ready to receive it. The keeper steps back, letting the fire burn steadily on its own. Its warmth spreads evenly across the circle, touching every stone, every leaf, every shadowed corner. She stands quietly, letting the flames breathe, letting the night flow around them. You feel your own thoughts settling, your own mind aligning with this gentle rhythm. Slow, measured, warm. Even the smallest flicker of worry drifts away, absorbed into the amber glow. A soft wind rises through the circle, carrying the scent of burning wood and night flowers. The keeper lifts her arms lightly, letting the breeze pass over her. The flames dance with the motion, and you feel the same breeze brushing over your thoughts, smoothing each one into calm, steady patterns. The rhythm of the fire, the wind, the night itself becomes your own. Each heartbeat, each breath, echoes the gentle cadence of the keeper's presence. She moves one final time around the circle, placing small stones carefully along the outer edge. Each stone is a silent lesson: patience, care, attention, presence. You follow her motion in thought, feeling each one settle into your mind, holding space for quiet reflection and gentle growth. The fire's warmth remains steady, soft yet bright, carrying the essence of calm and the glow of knowledge that needs no words. The keeper kneels once more, resting her hands lightly on the moss at the circle's center. She closes her eyes again, and the fire leans toward her palms as though listening, as though alive. You notice your own body following the rhythm of her stillness, sinking into the warmth, letting the mind float like smoke rising from the flames. Every worry drifts upward, every tension melts like wax, leaving only soft, steady illumination. Now the keeper rises, standing still as the night deepens, the fire burning evenly before her. You feel the final lesson settle into your heart. Wisdom is a gentle flame. It does not force itself upon the world. It nurtures, it guides, it warms quietly. It asks only to be observed, to be respected, to be received softly. Let us drift onward, carried by the amber glow of these sacred flames, moving deeper into the quiet, the calm, the tender presence of patient guidance. Let your thoughts settle like leaves upon still water, and your heart warm like the fire's glow. Now rest as the keeper of amber flames watches silently, her luminous, comforting presence flowing through your mind, carrying you gently into the slow, serene night. The fire flickers once more, sending tiny sparks upward, like miniature stars dissolving into darkness. You feel yourself floating deeper into stillness, into warmth, into gentle, quiet understanding. Each breath becomes a wave of amber light, washing softly over your body and mind. You are held. You are safe. You are guided. The night settles like a soft, silken blanket, draping the earth in gentle shadow. A slow wind stirs the leaves of tall trees, whispering faint secrets among their branches. The air carries the subtle fragrance of jasmine and damp earth, and somewhere far away, the quiet ripple of a river moves steadily toward distant moonlight. You drift along a narrow path, soft underfoot, guided by the pale glow of the full moon above. Its light spreads evenly, tender and watchful over the world, as if the sky itself leans closer to listen. Ahead, a small garden opens beneath a grove of ancient trees. Moonflowers bloom silently, their white petals luminous, reflecting the silver light with delicate care. Each flower sways gently in the wind, as if nodding in slow rhythm to an unheard melody. In the center of the garden, a woman kneels beside a stone basin of still water, her hands folded in quiet prayer. The moonlight wraps around her shoulders like a shawl of calm, and her presence radiates a soft warmth that seems to settle across the garden. She breathes slowly, deeply, and the night itself feels held in the pattern of her inhalations and exhalations. The moonflowers respond subtly, turning toward her, petals trembling like small sighs of devotion. Every movement is gentle, purposeful, yet unhurried. She speaks no words, yet her prayers reach outward in the quiet language of intention, carrying peace into every corner of the garden. You feel the hush of her devotion brushing softly against your mind, inviting it to stillness. The woman dips her fingers into the basin, tracing gentle patterns across the water's surface. Tiny ripples spread outward, glimmering in silver and moonlight. You watch each wave travel slowly, touching stone, leaf, and flower alike, never rushing, always soft, always exact. She raises her hands from the water, letting droplets drift slowly back into the basin, falling like tiny stars returning home. The rhythm of her motions mirrors the heartbeat of the night itself, steady, quiet, unbroken. Around her, the garden is alive in subtle ways. Shadows of the trees stretch long across the ground, dark and tender, wrapping the moonflowers in protective embrace. A small owl rests silently in a high branch, wings folded, eyes reflecting a pale understanding. Even the wind seems softened here, careful not to disturb the delicate unfolding of petals, not to disturb the sacred calm of her presence. You feel yourself drawing breath in alignment with the rhythm of her quiet energy. Each inhale and exhale a soft wave of peace. She reaches toward a nearby moonflower, cupping it gently in her palm. Its petals are cool, tender, and luminous, as if the moon itself had pressed its light into the bloom. She leans close, brushing her lips softly over the flower, and the garden seems to pause, holding still in reverence. Every flower in the grove tilts slightly toward her, leaning into the silent prayers that drift outward like fragrance. You feel that same reverence settling into your chest, as if your heart recognizes the care and patience of her devotion. A soft rustle passes through the leaves, and she lifts her gaze to the moon above. Her eyes, calm and luminous, reflect the pale silver light, echoing the slow, meditative pulse of the night. She does not speak, yet her gaze carries words that do not need sound: patience, reflection, quiet attentiveness. Her presence itself is a prayer, moving gently across the garden, touching every shadow, every petal, every breath of air. You notice your mind slowing, each thought softening, your body sinking further into quiet awareness. The basin of water catches more moonlight now, shimmering softly like a pool of melted silver. She dips her hands again, letting droplets spill over the edges, falling lightly onto moss and stone. Tiny ripples spread across the water's surface, catching the reflections of nearby flowers. You imagine each ripple as a thought, a prayer, or a quiet intention, moving gently, touching the world without forcing its way. Each one reminds you that care and mindfulness need no urgency to reach their purpose. She rises slowly, feet brushing softly against the earth, hands lifted as if cradling the moonlight itself. The wind stirs slightly, moving the petals in gentle waves. She walks through the garden, letting her fingers graze the blooms without disturbing their stillness. Each motion is deliberate but soft, teaching without sound. You follow her passage in thought, feeling the same careful rhythm settling into your own body, your own breath. A faint chime echoes from somewhere deep within the grove. Perhaps a small bell tied to a branch, swaying in the quiet wind. Its tone is delicate, ringing without harshness, harmonizing with the rustle of leaves and the slow dance of moonlight. She stops, allowing the sound to linger, letting it reach each petal, each stone, each shadowed corner. You feel the sound settling into your awareness like soft waves, smoothing the surface of your mind, coaxing rest into every part of you. She kneels again by the basin, letting the moonlight pool around her. Her hands hover over the water, then drop slowly, letting ripples carry outward once more. Tiny reflections shimmer like miniature moons scattered across the surface. Each wave moves gently, touching every flower, stone, and leaf with the same tender care. You feel your thoughts drifting along with these ripples, each one dissolving quietly, leaving calm space in its wake. A soft sigh of wind passes, lifting petals slightly from the stems. The woman spreads her arms slowly, letting the motion guide the petals in a dance, a silent offering to the night. The moonflowers lean into the motion, petals brushing one another like whispered secrets. Even the shadows seem to sway along, moving with her rhythm. You sense that the world itself listens here, touched by the quiet devotion of a single, patient presence. She lowers her arms, resting her hands on her lap. The fireflies, few and delicate, appear at the edges of the garden, glowing softly like tiny stars fallen to earth. They hover around her, circling, pausing, and moving in time with her stillness. You imagine their light carrying tiny prayers, small sparks of calm and attention, floating softly into the night. Each one reaches into the spaces of your mind, spreading gentle warmth and ease. The woman closes her eyes, letting her body sink into the rhythm of the garden. The moonflowers rise slightly on slow stems, leaning toward her as if sharing in the quiet meditation. You feel the same gentle pull, a sense of being gathered, held, and understood. The night hums softly around her. Each sound, wind, leaf, water, distant owl, woven into a single harmonious lullaby. She breathes deeply, slowly, and you mirror the motion in your own chest. Each inhalation brings cool silver light into your awareness. Each exhalation releases tension, thought, and unrest into the gentle darkness. The garden, the moonflowers, the stones, and the water seem to breathe with you, moving in a slow, synchronized wave of serenity. A single petal detaches from its stem, floating softly onto the water's surface. It drifts gently, carried by the tiniest ripple. The woman watches, her hands still, letting the movement be, letting it arrive where it may. You notice your own thoughts drifting in a similar fashion, each one softening, each one guided gently toward rest. The wisdom of patience settles deep into your being, like water filling quiet pools. She kneels once more, letting her forehead brush the soft moss beneath her. The moonlight brushes across her back and arms, each shadow a tender fold of quiet. You feel your own body melting slowly into the mattress, into the night, each limb releasing its weight with patient care. The garden holds her, it holds you. Every element whispers the same lesson. Serenity blooms in stillness, care thrives in patience, and light can be shared without urgency. The night stretches on, unbroken and gentle. Her hands rise slowly once again, palms open to the moon above. Tiny threads of silver light seem to descend from the sky, touching her fingertips and the water's surface. The moonflowers glow a little brighter in response, and the basin mirrors the delicate illumination. You sense the flow of energy through the night, carrying warmth, peace, and silent guidance. She rises fully, standing tall and slow, letting the full glow of the moon spill over her. Her presence radiates calm and quiet attention. You feel as though every petal, every stone, every ripple has been guided with gentle care, and that same calm now rests in your chest. You are wrapped in the quiet devotion of the garden, warmed by the moonlight, soothed by the rhythm of small, deliberate motions. Let us drift onward, carried by the glow of moonflowers and the soft prayers of midnight. Each breath becomes a small offering, a gentle wave, a calm thread weaving through your mind. Let the quiet settle deeply like water into stone, like light across petals. Let your thoughts drift slowly, your body sink easily, your heart find rest. Now rest as the stars watch silently overhead, and as the keeper of moonflowers guides her midnight prayers through the night, carrying you softly into the dream-filled dark, where stillness blooms eternal. The sky stretches wide and soft, a canvas of deep violet and silver, where the first stars emerge like whispers of light. The air is tender, carrying the faint scent of evening blossoms and distant quiet waters. Shadows lengthen slowly across the land, folding gently into themselves, as if the world itself is taking a deep, calm breath. You float along a narrow path, soft beneath your feet, guided by the dim glow of the settling twilight. In the heart of a quiet valley, the evening deepens. The trees sway with a delicate rhythm, their leaves brushing softly against one another. A small lake mirrors the darkening sky, its surface smooth as glass, reflecting streaks of pink lavender and the first glimmers of silver stars. Near the water's edge, a woman sits upon a low stone, her presence serene, like a single unwavering note in the vast symphony of night. Her hair is a dark cascade, touched by the moon's silver light. Her eyes, calm and patient, trace the horizon where sky meets earth. She does not speak, yet the quiet around her feels intentional, a language of stillness that fills the space with peace. The twilight seems to bend gently around her, as though the evening itself leans closer to watch her. You feel the hush of her calm entering your own chest, slowing the rhythm of your heart, softening each thought that drifts through your mind. The woman rises slowly, her movements deliberate but fluid, like water flowing over smooth stones. She stretches her arms toward the sky, gathering the last warmth of the sun's memory. The breeze catches her sleeves, lifting them softly, and the air hums with gentle motion. She steps closer to the lake, letting her fingers graze the surface. Tiny ripples shimmer, catching the first stars above. Each ripple carries a soft, quiet message. Rest, surrender, release. You watch, sensing the same gentle ripple through your own being, coaxing tension to dissolve like mist over the water. Around her, the valley is alive in subtle ways. A small owl perches on a low branch, eyes luminous, steady, aware. A distant deer pauses, drinking from a hidden spring, its breath quiet, unhurried. Even the wind seems softened here, careful not to disturb the sacred calm. You feel the presence of the world bending toward her, listening, pausing, and you sense that the night carries its own devotion, shaped by her tranquil attention. She kneels now by the edge of the water, hands hovering over its smooth surface. Slowly, deliberately, she touches it, letting the gentle wave of her fingers spread outward. Each ripple shines with the soft reflection of twilight, carrying the stillness of the valley into the world. You notice your own thoughts flowing outward similarly, drifting slowly, touching calm spaces, leaving quiet trails in their passage. The lake captures the faint glow of the first moonlight. Tiny silvery trails move across the surface, following the rhythm of her gentle motions. She dips her hands again, letting water spill lightly over her fingers, each droplet a small whisper of patience and grace. Her devotion is unhurried, expansive yet tender. You feel each motion resonating within you, drawing your awareness inward, reminding you of the soft patience that accompanies every ending. The woman lifts her gaze toward the stars now, scattered like distant lanterns across the sky. Her eyes, still and luminous, reflect their light as though she carries the night within herself. She leans back slightly, letting the breeze lift her hair, and her presence seems to expand into the valley. You notice your own body settling further, each muscle releasing, each thought slowing, aligning with the gentle rhythm of her calm. A small bell rings somewhere far within the trees, its tone soft, like a distant memory of laughter or the faint toll of remembrance. She does not move abruptly, but allows the sound to wash over her, letting it mingle with the ripples on the lake, the sway of leaves, and the dimming light. The valley listens, and you listen, carried along by the careful, steady pulse of evening's embrace. The woman rises slowly, walking along the lake's edge. Her steps are light, measured, each one a quiet echo in the soft twilight. Fireflies emerge, tiny lanterns of amber light, floating lazily above the water. She lifts a hand, and they gather around her, circling, pausing, drifting with her motion. You sense the glow of their light wrapping around your awareness, gentle, protective, and full of quiet reassurance. She stops at the center of the valley now, letting her arms spread wide as though the night itself is cradled in her reach. The moon rises higher, brushing silver across her face and the calm waters. You feel the gentle expansion of her presence, like a soft tide, filling the space around you, filling the space within you, carrying the message of endings made gentle, of transitions embraced without hurry or worry. The shadows of the trees stretch longer, folding into the valley, brushing the flowers and grasses with a tender brush of darkness. The woman kneels again, hands over her heart, and for a long moment nothing stirs but the quiet breathing of the earth. The lake mirrors her form, the moonlight, and the first stars, blending into a single luminous reflection of stillness. You feel your own breathing synchronizing with this rhythm, slow and steady, each inhale carrying calm, each exhale releasing worry. A small wind stirs, lifting petals from distant blooms. They drift lazily, circling the valley before settling gently on the water, on the stone, on the soft earth. The woman watches, hands open, as if receiving each petal as a blessing. You notice your mind allowing thoughts to float away in the same way, drifting gently, landing softly, leaving the spaces in between open and calm. She rises fully, extending her hands toward the horizon where night deepens into a soft velvet darkness. The stars twinkle, steady and patient, like countless small lanterns guiding travelers through the vast sky. She moves slowly along the lake's edge, each step carrying the same careful, soft grace. You feel her rhythm entering your awareness, each step a gentle heartbeat, each motion a prayer of quiet understanding. A distant owl calls once, and the sound stretches across the valley, echoing softly, blending with the rustle of leaves and the rippling water. She stops, letting the sound fill the night without interruption, letting the echo become part of the calm. You notice the same stillness spreading through your chest, your arms, your legs, your mind. Every corner of your being is touched by the patience of twilight, the quiet devotion of the eternal evening. The woman sits once more by the lake, lowering her hands slowly into the water. She lets the ripples carry outward, touching every reflection of moonlight, every shadow, every star mirrored in the still surface. You feel your own thoughts carried along those ripples, softening, settling, melting into calm pools within yourself. The valley breathes with her. The night listens, and you feel cradled in a gentle, patient embrace. She closes her eyes now, resting her forehead lightly on her palms. The moonflowers near the lake lean slightly, petals brushing one another with soft rustles. Tiny stars of light from distant fireflies hover nearby, their glow steady, quiet. You feel the same gentle light entering your awareness, settling into every thought, every memory, every small tension that lingered. The wind moves once more, a soft exhalation through the valley. She lifts her gaze, watching the horizon where the last glow of sunset lingers faintly. Her presence seems to stretch across the world, a bridge between the fading day and the approaching night. A reminder that endings carry beauty, that transitions need not disturb the heart. You feel your own heart resting into this awareness, letting the rhythm of evening guide you deeper into calm. She rises slowly, walking a small circle around the lake, her hands lightly brushing the tall grass. The moon glimmers along the water, a soft trail of silver guiding her path. Every step she takes is deliberate and slow, and you feel yourself moving in thought along the same path, each step releasing a little more tension, each motion inviting quiet, each breath a gentle wave of ease. She kneels once more by the edge of the water, resting her hands gently upon the surface. The moon's reflection shimmers softly, carrying her quiet presence across the lake and into the night. You imagine the gentle echoes of her calm spreading outward, touching every star, every leaf, every whispering wind. Your body melts further into the softness of your bed. Your mind floats with the evening. Your heart settles in steady rhythm. Let us drift onward, through the tender folds of twilight, carried on the gentle waves of the lake, the soft rustle of leaves, the calm devotion of a single patient presence. Let the night cradle you, each breath a quiet prayer, each heartbeat a gentle pulse of serenity. Now rest, as the stars rise fully into the sky, and as the eternal evening embraces all endings with grace, letting your spirit float, calm and unhurried, into the gentle, dream-filled dark.